Everything from overlanding in your stock rig to full-on LS-powered 2 buggies on stickies. This is the Total Off-Road Podcast. I'm your host, Steve.
And I'm Ian, and we are here for episode 28. Yep. I haven't said lucky in a while.
Well, you just did.
Well, I'm not in the context of lucky number 28.
There you go. And now we got it.
I snuck it in there. I bikini blued it.
Oh, jeez. Now you just get it all out of the way up front.
We're 29 seconds in and it's gone to shit. Yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
It can only get better from here, right?
No. You've got all the good stuff out of the way.
Surprisingly,
lucky,
it goes,
blue, and done.
Yeah, it goes downhill from here real fast.
We're back, and I didn't do anything off-road related this week.
Perfect.
Nothing. No, I take that back. I talked to Chris like 3 times on the phone.
So you just take a nap this episode, and I'll just sit over here and talk to myself like I usually do.
This is going to work out great.
Yeah.
The listeners are going to love it. They're like, good, Steve, shut the fuck up.
Steve shuts up. Ian won't shut the fuck up. He never does anyway.
And we're set. So, what do we want to talk about? Is there anything going on this coming week in podcast time?
Let me check the calendar, but I don't believe so.
You don't have anything going on? No giveaways, no secret giveaways?
Nope.
I literally didn't know you were giving away the Savior stuff, and then you gave it away, and I didn't even know it happened until today when I looked at the messages. I was like, oh, he gave it away.
That's because I was supposed to do it on Friday and did it on like Thursday.
I hope
let me do you one better. Uh-huh. Shelby didn't know that he didn't win, but he also didn't know that he entered to win because he's like, well, I didn't enter that one. And I'm like, okay, I'm very specifically remember your name being on that list. And he's like, well, maybe it was something like, maybe I did or something. And I'm like, so you didn't know what was going on. He didn't know he entered, which is funnier. Yeah. I totally forgot to give that shit away too. I'm like, yeah, but it ends on Friday. And then like Wednesday, they're like, hey, let us know who won that giveaway. And I'm like, yeah, so about that, we'll let you know when we pick on it. And then the winner ended up having to be, I don't know, he was close to here or something like that. Just can't win.
You don't remember his name? My phone's dead, couldn't tell you.
God, the problem is I've tried very hard this weekend to remember names. And because I'm horrible with names anyway. So I was very hard, like, all right, I'm going to remember your name. So I'm in my head, I'm saying like, Steve. Like I'm staring at you and I'm like, so maybe I'm going to remember this guy's name. You're standing there like, oh God,
I can't remember this guy's name. Something about a camera.
Kyle Ming.
Okay. Kyle Ming.
Yep.
That's the winner of the Savior Light giveaway.
Sleepy Hollow, Illinois.
Yeah. Where's that at?
Probably about 2 hours from you guys is what he said. End quote.
But
it was the best part. He was saying he was listening to one of our episodes while he's mowing the grass when I tagged him like 8 times in that fucking post and then tagged him like in the video too. So it was wonderful. He's like, I got all these notifications. I'm like, yes.
I was so far out of it this week. As far as the internet goes, I did not nothing.
That's wonderful.
Literally. I had no idea anything happened until today when I finally sat down and did something.
That's about like being at Flat Nasty where you have no phone service and then you come back and you're like, oh my God.
I did quite a bit of stuff on Snapchat, but not on
anything else.
Nothing else. Yep.
It's not a bad thing.
I did very little on Facebook.
Good break.
But I guess so. I was busy. My
That's
arms
good,
hurt. So
dude,
bad.
Your arms hurt. My legs hurt.
You don't know.
You don't know.
Bro.
Jake will tell you that hill was something to run up.
Why were you running up the hill?
So long story short, I went to Flat Nasty this weekend for the Outlaw Offroad race, which we will talk about shortly. Shelby. Yes, we've got to talk about him in this episode again.
How is that chuckle fucking person?
He's doing good.
I mean, no, I don't care about it. I don't care how he's doing.
Oh,
like how is he to deal with?
It's not bad.
Just normal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Probably pretty. It's one of those people that like you meet him on the internet, kind of a thing, and then you meet him in person. Usually, not all the time, but I would say probably more so than not. You go like. This guy. And Shelby is one of those people that like you meet in person and you go like, but not in a bad way. Cause he's a very transparent person on the internet. So like, I don't feel like he's not fake on the internet, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So like the bullshit that he gives me in person is the same shit like when I'm looking at him. Like it's so I mean like it's not a bad thing. It's actually quite refreshing to be like, oh,
you're that guy.
I get along with you on the internet and I get along with you in person. Okay, well, great, we're good.
We've talked to him on the phone a couple times, so like you knew what you're getting into, sort of.
Yeah. It's fucked up because like any of those internet people that you know and talk to on a regular basis,
then you
meet them in person and you just start talking, like they just walk up and just like, yeah, you know, we just start talking.
I've never seen you.
Like, oh yeah, it is nice to meet you for the first time in like, you know, ever. Like, yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. But no. So the whole leg thing. So Shelby says like, oh, I was like, I want a job. I need something to do. I don't want to just like show up to this thing and wander the fuck around. And then I weaseled a radio out of him.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm walking around. I've already seen a couple pictures on the internet of me up on this hill. And there's like two of us that have like a full headset radio and shit. And I'm just saying like, I look goddamn official.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Did you look at the other guy with the radio and be like, you know the differences between me and you?
Well, here's the difference. I had a safety vest on that said Outlaw. He had a shirt with his name on it that said Outlaw Offroad. So he trumped he was like my boss.
Oh, really?
He's like the superior.
I feel like safety vest
is
like more.
No, because he had like the official Outlaw Offroad, like orange and black with his name and shit on it. He's like the legit. How come you didn't get one of those? That's my next thing. Okay. Shelby told me they're very hard to get. And I'm just saying, I can be persuasive.
You're going to try.
I'm going to try hard. I got to work hard, so I'm going to work hard. Give me a goal to shoot for.
There you
go. So anyway, he's like, you could do recovery. You can help with recovery. We always need help with that. I'm like, fuck yeah, I could flip some shit over. That's kind of fun. I really like recovery stuff on like in general anyway.
Right.
So I'm like, this will be fun. And he goes, well, we don't usually, you know, there's not really that much recovery stuff to do. And I'm like, man, maybe that's a shitty job. Maybe I don't want to be sitting over there like doing nothing all day. I don't know what else I was going to do, but not you know. So then we start doing that, and I'm like, the first buggy goes up the hill, rolls over, and like we got to run up the coast crew's like, what the fuck do you just run up the fucking hill? And like, oh my god, this guy's upside down, like his shit could start on fire, whatever. So we go up there and like get this thing taken care of. The second one does. The third one goes up and like rolls the fuck over, and we're like, oh, I was run back up the hill. Like I'm still exhausted and like having a stroke over here from the first one. Now I got to do this shit again.
That's intense.
So like it was like every other one there for a little bit, and you're like, this is going to be a long fucking day. Because they had it was like
I need a different job.
38 bouncers and like 20 some fucking side by sides that have to run up this hill fucking at least twice. And you're like, we're like 4 in and I'm fucking done. I'm like, this is too much work.
Yeah. Ian to Shelby.
Yeah.
I need a job.
Radio check. Yeah. I'm signing off. I'm going dark.
Somebody come get my headset and my vest. Yeah. I'm going to go watch.
I just throw the vest and just walk off. There's a vest on the course. Can we spot the race to get the vest on the course? Yeah. It was fun. That's the fucked up part is that we were talking about it on the way home last night. I'm like, it's fun as hell. But fucking A, am I out of shape? My legs. The worst thing about the whole deal is we ate White Castle on the way home.
Yes.
So I got a shit like every 12 minutes today. And so like bending down to sit on the shitter is so fucking painful for my legs.
I remember that from when you used to go to the gym all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But like, yeah, except like go work out like hardcore leg day and then eat White Castle. Genius. Horrible.
Yeah. You're an idiot.
Yeah. Well, we knew that going in. So yeah, but there was like 3 or 4 fires. There was one that like we were running and the guy I don't know, fucked something up or whatever. So we were already like going up the hill real fast. And the next thing you know, like insta big fire and you're like, Jesus. Oh fuck. And then of course everybody's yelling fire, fire, fire. And you're like, why am I running at this fire? I have no fire extinguisher. I'm not a firefighter. I'm just a guy with a radio and a fucking vest. Why am I running at this fire? Thank God somebody else had a fire extinguisher because I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
You imagine being that guy running up the hill every time with a fire extinguisher too? Like holding a fire extinguisher?
Well, most of them had cans of Fire Aid versus like a regular fire extinguisher. How'd that stuff work? Dude, that's fucking great.
Is it?
Jake was like, I'm buying the shit out of it.
Really? Dude, I saw you got 2 cans in the living room.
Yeah, it's super
So you were already
nice.
invested.
It's not corrosive.
That's nice.
Like if you have a piece of metal that you start on fire, you blast it with Fire Aid. It's like a foam, essentially. You blast that piece of steel with Fire Aid, you can touch the piece of steel instantly. What it does is it like smothers the fire with foam, but its big selling point is that it rapidly cools
everything,
whatever, so you don't get those flash fires that start back up. So that's why NHRA
anything you spray it on it.
Well, I don't know if it does that, but like that's why NHRA uses it because you get those engine fires, they put them out, well, then they can start back up because the shit's still hot.
Yeah.
Which is why a normal fire extinguisher sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So this stuff, it foams it, snuffs it, and cools the shit like rapid as fuck.
Huh.
It's pretty dope.
That is dope. And it's non-corrosive?
And it's non-corrosive,
Does
so you
it
can blast it.
to like the foam stuff, like leave a residue or anything?
So from what I've researched and looked at, you can just rinse it off.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
It's magical. It's a little bit more expensive. I think he came up with like 2 regular cans, like $25. But I mean, it's not bad.
It's a lot cheaper than rewiring your rig or buying a new one.
Yep.
Like, when it comes to fire extinguishers, you can be like, well, I could go the cheap route, but like, you may never use it.
Yep.
Or it may save you thousands.
Hey, your rig has, you've got $50,000 in your buggy.
Yeah.
And it just burned up because you didn't want to spend $50 on fire extinguishers.
Exactly.
And I think everybody was required to run one inside and one outside minimum. Most guys had 2 on the outside, and I don't know. I didn't really look at inside. I'm gonna have 1 or 2, but
because when you drop $3,000 on stickies, it's like,
dude, $100 in fire extinguishers. You're a fucking moron.
Yeah,
people do it though.
Mm-hmm.
Same with seat belts are expensive. So's your fucking back being broken because you fell out of or dead, and it's like, ugh. So. But yeah, we had a few. Well, we'll talk about that. But yeah, I'm not built for running Billy Goat style up a hill. It was fun as fuck. I'll do it again.
I haven't seen these pictures on the internet of you with a headset on.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking.
I need to find those.
Here, I'll show you one real fast.
You know where they're at?
Yep.
Okay. So,
so there was that. So I'm sore as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
What else do we got going on here? I got a bunch of stuff done on the buggy this week.
I spent all the doll hairs.
On?
I bought a new computer.
Oh, you bought the pewter.
I spent the money. It's
nice.
on the order. He's like, all the parts are ordered.
How long does that take to get in?
I don't know. Something's on back order.
All right. I'm going to show you this picture.
Okay.
And I need your first reaction.
Mm-hmm. Yay.
But
let me see.
That looks so official. Like you could put that on a brochure or something. Closer.
Oh yeah. You got.
I look like I'm in charge of something.
What's this one guy doing?
Probably fucking off.
Oh, he's got his headset on. Oh, that's the official guy.
See how he looks like he trumps me.
The guy that you said looks like the guy that trumps you. I saw you first because you're neon.
Because I'm high vis as fuck.
And this guy's over here like, what is he talking on a cell phone? Like this thing's upside down. Put your phone down, bud. I'm like, oh, he's on his headset.
Yeah, he actually was talking on the radio. So I locked my radio and didn't talk on it.
And you're like fancy, get your headphones flipped backwards.
Yeah.
So not over your head. Fancy.
Well, no, those are Shelby's. They're like the behind the head style headset thing.
Those are the nice ones.
Yeah, he hooked me up with some nice rugged radio stuff.
This guy rolled his rig over.
Pretty solid.
He rolled her good.
Yeah. Flip that around. Let me see the buggy.
Okay.
I think that's the one.
The boogie?
I don't think that's the one.
Okay.
There was one we were looking at it later. He thinks they just rebuilt the shocks and it looked like they pulled the shock shaft out of the shock body, but the threads were still there.
Oops. So
then they kind of all had this did you tighten the nut concept? And I don't know, but seemingly the bottom of the shock was there and the threads were on the shaft. The shaft was bent as fuck, but it's did the nut just come off or did it have a longer threaded portion that it broke or I don't really know. And that was
I never found out.
Yeah. But yeah, it's fucked.
That sucks for them.
Yeah. For them.
I saw a video of Jade. Does that sound accurate?
Yep.
Please, I believe so.
Look at this fucking picture here.
Is that whose buggy was she driving? What is that picture? Oh, is that?
Look at how official I look.
I know. Yeah,
somebody captured the back side of me, which is my best side.
Man,
radio, vest.
Yep. Fancy.
Just spotting some recovery.
Yep. Nice. It looked like it was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was. We'll go to another one.
So,
so she was driving. Who the hell's buggy was she driving?
Her stepdad or dad or
something like that. Yeah, she was driving. Was it Pennywise?
Yeah, Pennywise.
Sean Cross's buggy.
Oh, really?
Bro, that was badass to watch.
How has she ever done it before?
I don't know if she's ever drove before, but it was badass because I'm over here
If she's never driven before, that was impressive.
It was badass. Yeah. She was like straight up bawling
when she got done.
When she got down to the hill, because she got done. I think she smoked the fuck out of a tree.
Oh.
And then came down the hill. Well, she couldn't turn. She had to come down the hill and turn to the right to go back up the other side.
Right.
She got to the bottom and couldn't turn right.
How come?
So she was done. So she was like, I guess, bummed as fuck that she couldn't finish her run and thought she broke it because the buggy wouldn't turn to the right. So she was all upset because she's like, oh my God, I broke it. And we're already all standing up at the front like, all right, hold on. First of all, we got to get this fucking thing off the race course because we got like 45 other fucking buggies that need to run up this. But also, like, it's not even fucked up. The truss, it's like a tube truss, like a U-shaped truss around the steering. She smoked the tree and it bent the bar up, and the bolt for the Heim on the tie rod was hitting the tube.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't let, nothing was broken. It just wouldn't let it go by.
She could turn a couple degrees.
All it needs is a fucking sawzall. Like, somebody get a sawzall. We're going to cut this fucking tube out or
let her go smoke another tree.
We're like, fucking send it. And so she finally, everybody's like around her, like, that was so badass. Like, you had a hell of a save and all this and everything. And they're like, it's not even broken. He's like, yeah, I broke it. And he's like, it's not even broken. We're like, and of course you're trying to talk to like a younger kid and you're like, no, it's not even fucked up. Like, if you knew how not fucked up this was, you'd be excited.
Right.
So she finally gets out and like walks around and looks at it and they're like, see, it's not even broken. It's just bent. And so I thought they cut it, but I think they ended up prying it out or beating it out.
Right.
And he came back and raced another hill and the exhibition on the fucking crazy hill. The third hill for the bouncers, did a like ridiculous endo backflip and like parked it on the wheels and was like, and that's the show, folks. He was the last like run of the day and like done.
That's awesome.
It was like, well, that's how you got in style.
I'm a little jealous.
But she did good. There was two other ones. I don't remember the name. It was Kelsey and something else. They're probably the same age. They did the bouncer, the UTV class. And the first one of the two came like tumbling back down the hill 5 or 6 times. I think they cracked the fuel cell. There's fucking gas running all over the motherfucker. Then they ended up fixing it. The other sister of the two, I'm pretty sure they were sisters. She took because they had the bypass for the UTVs around the big ledge. The second one took the ledge and I mean like smoked the fucking thing. Like beautiful, like not bad smoke, but like just up and over it, nice hot air balloon flew over this fucking ledge. It was so smooth and beautiful. Like there was probably 3/4 of the field that didn't hit that ledge as clean and as smooth as she did. That's and I'm awesome. Like, that was badass. She got a high five for that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm overhearing about it.
Well, I got a whole section of it.
I'm just a little jelly because I didn't get to go.
We'll be going back. I can promise you this.
Okay. Another race, another day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it was a good time, but like, let's be honest, it's only getting better for this series. That's the mind blowing part.
I was going to go down, but I had a customer that needed to pick up his truck on Saturday. So I was like, well, that kind of puts me out on that deal.
It's all right.
But there's no getting around that.
Work. Money, necessary.
Money is good. Money is good.
The best part for you is there's more events. We'll be going to them. And like I said, this series it's growing.
Yes.
So before we talk about that,
okay,
I got a bunch of shit done this week.
Oh my God, you got a bunch of shit done.
And I'm excited about it. I'm finally starting to let that excitement in a little bit.
Are you?
Going like,
when I sat in, I was like, oh man, I'm sitting in your buggy.
Like moving levers and pushing buttons and
like
stuff.
There's things in here. Like there's a radio even mounted in there. That's fancy.
2 radios.
Fancy.
I know. Fancy. So I got my steering cooler from Chris at Complete Off-Road. It's a fucking dual row Durali with a fan. Thing's a beast.
Is it Durali or Derail?
I don't know. Durali, I don't really know, to be honest with you.
I have no idea either.
We were all trying to pronounce the Baofeng like radios, and like 4 of us were standing there talking about it, and we all said it differently. And I'm like, nobody knows what the right way to say this shit is, but both it's like Baofeng, and I'm like,
Baofeng. I think
everybody had a little different way of saying it, and we're just like the black ones, like the knockoff rugged radio, those ones, and we're like, yes, we know what you talk about. I got that done. Center console's done. Shifters are all mounted. Floor's done. Steering reservoir's mounted.
Fancy.
Wiper fluid reservoir's mounted.
I thought you were going to say wiper fluid is full.
Top that shit off.
Full, doesn't run, but the washer fluid's full.
We can squirt shit on the open windshield real good.
With the not squirters in the hood.
Yeah. Dude, I looked up those on eBay. Those are expensive, like $20 a piece.
What?
Yeah.
Get out of here. You used to be able to buy those in like a skull with lights in it for like $10.99.
20 for OEM ones, like like GM ones, but like OEM style, like regular ones. They're like $20 a piece.
That's outrageous.
And I'm like, I'll go borrow a couple of those from a junkyard next time I'm at one. So
Jesus.
Yeah, it was nuts because I figured they'd be a couple bucks, not $20 fucking dollars a piece.
No. Not for a damn windshield washer squirter for a hood.
Squirter, yeah.
Get out of here, that nonsense.
So I got a bunch of that done. I got a lot of little shit that showed up this week. I'm so excited to get a lot of little things like wrapped up.
I would be excited, but I didn't order anything this week. Oh, no, I did order something this week. I ordered brushes for my buffer, and those showed up today.
Nice.
Yeah, well, need to have those.
Well, that's how you make the monies.
That's a
This
fact.
is how I felt right now that you're feeling. This is how I felt when you're like, oh, knocked like 45 things off my to-do list with the Jeep this week.
Winter.
And I'm like, well, I mean, I watched some TV. The Discovery Channel's got a good special going on right now on catching crab. Can't afford some crab. But you know,
but I bought some anyway.
They're catching it. So yeah.
I literally, my week, it was a truck and a hopper bottom to polish.
It looked good though.
It did look good. It's not quite finished,
but it looked nice rolling down the road.
It looked good leaving.
Was the customer happy?
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yep, he was in love. He's like, yep, that looks good, dude.
Tip is appreciated.
It's so much. Yeah, tip is appreciated. There wasn't no tip on that bill. I bet he about fell off the boat when he heard how much it was.
It's okay though.
Yeah.
Just look at it. Just be like, just tell him somebody, just look at it.
He wrote me the check and I looked at him like, I don't even know if that's worth it.
For you or for him?
For me.
Oh, yeah.
That's
how that shit usually works.
Yep.
Here's the question I have without getting into details. I don't know. I don't want to know how many you billed him for hour. Could you just not like bill him out? Like, do you just keep track of it hourly?
It's like by the part.
Okay. So I want to know how many hours total
I had in
that
there.
You not like billed him for whatever, but like legit had in it.
If it were done, which it's not.
Okay.
If it were done, it'd be like, I don't know. It's probably like 40 or 50 hours. Yeah. Holding a buffer.
Yeah. I mean, you're not 40 hours fucking off at work for a week. No. You're like 40 hours
that's
of
the
buffer
fucked up
time.
Thing. Like, that's the thing about polishing and like being your own boss or whatever. You go to work. How many hours do you think you actually work a day?
3 to 4.
3 to 4 hours.
And that's pushing it.
Yeah. So like that's your actual, like, I did work. Like I was physically doing something other than just kind of hang out. And even if you're working, but hanging out, like say you're like, oh, I'm at work and I'm doing some stuff on the computer or whatever.
Or I'm working on my own shit.
Or I'm like walking across the lot.
My boss doesn't listen to this. So
yeah,
I did a lot of my own shit this week.
And like that's the other thing, like, but like you're in the shop and somebody hangs an order up on the wall. You're like, okay, I gotta go do that. So you go grab that and you head out to whatever and you go grab said thing and you bring it in and then you wander around it for a half hour trying to figure out what the hell's wrong with it. And then you turn some wrenches for an hour, put in some real labor. And then you got to go find whatever part it needs. You know what I mean? Like there's these lulls where you're doing things that have to be done, but you're not actually like physically like.
I mean, I involve a lot of popsicle breaks and I usually just go walk around and yell at somebody. And it's more so that than.
Here's the worst part about that is like if I have popsicle breaks and things like that, it just extends my day out.
Yeah.
Like when 5 o'clock gets there, whatever, it doesn't mean I get to go home. Like I worked every day this week. Now I didn't get started early because I worked late. But I got started at like 11 and then worked till 9 every day.
That's my about ideal schedule. If I could work from about 10 to probably 7.
It's not great.
Oh, it is. Because then I can wake up and I just eat some Frosted Flakes. And
just kind of hang out
and like, yeah, well, I guess I'll start working.
It wasn't that I wanted to stay and hang out. It was that when I woke up, everything hurt so bad. Like legs and feet were just like that achy feeling. Like this arm felt like it was in a vice.
Yep.
Like my forearm just literally felt like it was in a vice. I was like, this sucks. It's like I ate the first couple days. I didn't do real well. I'd like, I don't know, cereal or whatever the hell it was. I ate something or whatever. And then by the end of the second day, I was like, okay, I have got to come up with a better strategy to eat foods that recover muscle quicker than whatever is going on right now. And so I was reading some stuff online about muscle recovery, and it was like bodybuilding websites or whatever, you know, like things like that. It was like men's health
where
or
you
something.
Stress the fuck out of your muscles.
Yeah, you beat on your muscles hard. Like, what do you eat to make your muscles recover faster? And one of the things was a study done here at U of I. Yeah, I don't know if it's the U of I Chicago or U of I Illinois or downstate here, but it just said University of Illinois study. They did a group of guys working out. And half the group.
Sorry, this is going in an interesting direction.
Yeah.
Group of guys together, and they're working out, and like this is how they're
muscle recovery. It's muscle recovery, and so they did a group of guys that split them up. Obviously, one side of the group did had egg whites in their diet, and the other side had whole eggs in their diet. And the side that had whole eggs saw a 40% gain over the guys that just had egg whites.
Yeah, because the yolk is the most nutritional part of the egg.
The whites have all the good lean protein in them, but the yolk has all the vitamins and all that stuff in there.
The enzymes.
Enzymes, vitamins, all that. You know, they're building the chicken, so they might as well build, you know. Probably builds muscle. But anyway, so I woke up this morning.
Building the chicken. We're building a chicken in here. There's a bunch of little, I don't even know. I don't want to say midgets because midgets don't fit in an egg, but like there's little, like, I don't know, elves, I guess. Something. Like chicken elves. Little hammers and chisels, like chicken chiseling elves. Out of the egg. What do you do? The best part is, now hold on. Good brain thought. Okay. The best part is when these guys like chisel out this chicken and they're like, oh my gosh, it's about ready to hatch. And then I come in and like scramble. And they're like, son of a bitch. Damn it. That was so much work we had into this thing. It was about to be a beautiful and you scrambled the shit out of it. Me and Shelby had this agreement. That he's like, yeah, I only cook eggs scrambled or scrambled.
Really?
Like, yeah. Huh. Like, I feel you.
Always over medium for me.
He's just not an egg cooker.
Yeah. Oh, when he cooks.
Yeah, he's not an egg cooker.
Like he'll order them differently.
I don't know.
Or he'll only eat them.
I didn't ask. He said he only cooks them scrambled.
What about you?
I like them all kinds of different ways. Okay. Sometimes I used to eat them like scrambled with bacon mixed in. It's pretty good.
That's good.
I like my omelets. He informed me that I was not going to be receiving an omelet from him.
Dick.
Ever.
Oh. No, I just can't cook it.
He's just not going to.
How can you not cook eggs?
I don't know. A, I don't know if it's not like I'm not cooking you an omelet, but B, like
I don't know how to cook.
I'm not cooking you an omelet because I can't cook an omelet. But like if I could, I still wouldn't cook you an omelet.
Right.
I don't know what the level. I don't know where we're at yet.
Breakfast is my like go-to.
Oh, dude, he fed us bacon and eggs and was like yelling at us to eat. He's like, "Get over here, eat now." I'm like, "Yes, sir."
So
one of the great hospitality.
One of the other things on the muscle recovery thing was avocado toast. It was like, yeah, we know it's a fad, but
it's like loaded with protein. But in reality,
in reality, the avocado's got all kinds of nutrients and stuff like that.
So were you like drinking egg white? Because I know like people will drink like eggs. Yeah,
no, I'm good on that,
dude. I don't know how you could chug it down.
I just cook them up. No, I woke up in the morning and cooked them up. When I did that, when I switched my diet up, did that, introduced bananas back in. The number one thing to like for muscle recovery, people that need to have muscle recovery, like sore muscles like that you should eat
bananas,
tart cherries.
Guess what you can't eat?
Tart cherries.
I thought bananas were pretty good for muscle. Like
they said, the bananas, the potassium and the calcium in the bananas will ward off muscle cramps earlier. Like, so you have longer run time.
Yep.
That was from one of the runner's guides I was reading. But either way, I switched up a bunch of that stuff. I got protein shake stuff at the house, so I was taking a protein shake a day, and I was just like trying to do as much as I could to preserve what little muscle I had left after that first 2 days. Those frame rails on that thing, holding that buffer up chest high, and the one arm you're literally just holding almost still, and the other arm you're working that buffer, going around the rivets and everything. Dude, I was wrecked. It took 8 hours to do one frame.
You need an employee.
Yeah, sure do. Where can I find one of those that's
taking
cheap?
Applications?
Kevin, I know you know how to polish. Come on down here. I'll show you how to do it good, real good.
I'll give you a free sticker.
Yeah.
Look I'm helping you out.
Come on down here, work for a week, and I'll give you a free locker.
That's actually not a bad deal. I mean, really.
Not terrible.
What's a locker? A couple $100?
Yeah. A few hundred. Yeah.
You're gonna be like, now he showed up. Now I got to give him my shit. Like, damn.
I'd be fine with that. I put in work.
See, there you go.
He'd love it.
We're just making job opportunities. We're growing careers here. So stand by, tradesmen. We are taking over here. All right, we are changing employment opportunities.
Get into the trades.
As Josh is just like, Jesus, like these fucking idiots. Yeah.
So here's how bad this job was. I started on Monday, did the truck, and got rained out midday Monday. So then Tuesday, I came out and cleaned all my buffers, ruined a buffer cleaning it.
It's a good day.
Almost trashed a second buffer cleaning it.
Yeah, I would have stopped at that time. Like, that would have been like, and
It
this
was
is
just
where
a
I
matter-
went inside to watch TV.
It was just a matter of they were so full of cotton fibers and stuff that as I was cleaning them, it was like loosening up everything that was, held together with
Can
cotton
they
fibers.
start on fire with
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
done that?
Oh, yeah.
Neat.
Uh-huh. Sent one back to Home Depot for that.
Nice.
So just she went up a blaze. I was
What'd
like,
you do?
uh-oh.
Scoop the plastic ball off the
No,
floor
I
and
got
like
it.
put it in the box?
I got to put back together. Usually when they catch on fire, they're on the inside of them where the brushes go through.
Mm-hmm.
The contact for the brushes on the inside of that body are like a spring
Yep.
that wraps up and around.
Yep.
When they catch on fire, usually that spring gets so hot that it just pops in half like a filament in a light bulb.
So it keeps the,
And that's
it
it.
won't like
Yeah.
run.
It won't run. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen where there are flames just coming out the side of the vents.
See, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
Yeah.
you're over here buffing.
Like,
There's just
they're
like
legit.
flamethrower.
Mm-hmm. I've had them.
That'd be cool.
I've had one do that. The other ones, usually I'm sitting there buffing and I start feeling it. Like I got my headphones on, listening to whatever podcast or listening, little tradesman experience or
Talent
Andy
tank.
Frisella, and or music for that matter. But you'll start feeling the buffer start jittering.
Yeah.
It'll start like like you got a misfire. You're like, what the hell?
This son of a bitch is not a 4-cylinder.
Yeah. Why does this thing feel like it's misfiring? Or it'll feel like it just doesn't have any power. Like, why doesn't this have power? And I'm wearing a full face respirator, so I can't smell anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, is it getting smoky? And I'll like look down at the actual buffer itself and be like, you just see smoke.
She's rolling coal out like, oh, boy, she's on fire.
It's usually white.
Nice.
But I mean, it's just spewing out like white out of the exhaust of it. And you're like, uh-oh. So then I try to grab an air hose as quickly as possible and blow it out. And then you got to take it all apart real quick. And with the big buffers, it's not hard. They come apart with pulling the brushes and 4 screws. Easy. Pop those apart. The little buffers, the polishers, they have to take the 4 bolts out of the handle, then take the brushes out, then take the 4 bolts out of the head. Then after you pull the handle apart, there's a C clip in there, or actually an E clip. You take the E clip off.
They call those Jesus clips.
Oh God, they're dumb.
Do you know why they call them Jesus clips?
Oh Jesus, where'd it go?
Oh, well, a couple more expletives, but yeah, same concept. I heard that there was a college teacher I had in one of my shop classes said that, and I'm like, well, that's a good like working with RCE clips for years, and you just bing, and like, yeah, fucker, it is gone. I'm like,
I was just guessing. I hadn't heard that before.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm like, wow, that is a very logical, put together answer.
I was gonna do a video the other day on how to clean one of those, and I was like, I have to figure out how to get this E clip off here and not have it just go. Oh, okay. Everybody stay still. Where did it go?
Do you know the easiest way to do it?
Put your hands around it.
Take a shop rag.
Yeah.
Cover what you're doing with the shop rag. Like, get your screwdriver right there. So you're going to pop it and then just cover the shop rag.
I always pop it down, and I covered the other day. I was like, oh, no big deal. I'll cover this because the bottom of the trigger's still on, the bottom of the handle's still on there. And I put the screwdriver in there, and I put my hand over it, and I popped it down. And I popped that thing down, and it went from whatever angle, whatever little, quarter size or dime size hole.
Yeah.
And the thing just went right through. I was like, okay, where'd it go? It was on the floor like 2 feet behind me. But either way,
physics says this
is
not
what you have to
possible.
do to take this thing apart.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
To clean it out. Like it's quite, I don't know. It's extensive. But anyway, I spent a few hours cleaning those and tearing and going through a couple $100 worth of buffers, destroying them, and finding brushes that need to be replaced and everything else.
That's why you don't do maintenance, bro.
Finished cutting the truck on Friday, or not Friday. Finished cutting the truck on Tuesday after I got all that stuff sorted out. Went and grabbed a shower, then went and grabbed the truck, took it to the shop and parked it at the shop because I needed to go back there. I was at the house. And then I was going to start the trailer on Tuesday, which I could have now, knowing what I know now, I could have, but I had to go home and load my van up and load the generator up and everything. So I loaded all that crap up, And then Wednesday morning, I got started on it. So the trailer, I spent 4 days on just the trailer and still didn't finish it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It got both rails. So it's a hopper bottom. Got both rails, the front, the back, the rails up the back, the top of the back, and he wanted both tubs done. Yep.
Cha-ching!
Woof.
You can buy that tube chassis. Speaking of wolf.
Sure could have. I could have bought yours.
Josh. He's buying it.
No, I'm not.
His wallet is like, it won't even close. I'm looking at it right now. That fucker is like,
no.
No.
The check's not even in here.
It looks like a door prop is in there. Yeah, it's a door prop in there.
I don't even know. Oh, I was going to go to Home Depot and buy my dad a string trimmer for Father's Day. That's why I was in.
You're late on that one. So
well, they were out.
You're going to need a card.
Did you see the explanation from Joe as to why they didn't have my string trimmer?
Nope.
That's stupid. It's more COVID bullshit.
Coming from China.
No, they're made locally. I think.
Really?
I mean, if they're not, whatever it is, either way,
look at that thing won't even close. You've got chassis money in there. That's what we call that. We got chassis money.
It's definitely fat.
Look at you. It sounded like you were hitting a fucking 20-pound sledge on the table there. That was a sledgehammer, folks. It's not a sound effect.
Anyway, yeah, that's what I did all week. Dude, that job was so big though. I was going home at night. I was so wore out. I'd shut her down at dark whenever it got dark. I'd go home, take a shower, lay down in bed, play on Facebook for 20 or 30 minutes, trying to wind down, and all through the night, just constantly dreaming about, get this, you'll like this one. You'll appreciate this dream that I had on like Tuesday or Wednesday night, whatever it was.
Okay.
I had a dream. You're going to like this. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Okay.
Okay.
I had a dream that I was doing something and broke my leg below the knee.
It sounds like a
didn't know it was broken.
Okay. Like broke it off?
No, just broke it.
Broken leg.
Broke it. No. I was like doing something else in my dream. I was like, oh man, look, my leg is broken. Like I thought it might be broken, but I wasn't really sure. And then in that process, I'm like, I'm going to have to call him tomorrow and tell him I can't finish that trailer. Damn.
You're like preemptively getting out of work in your mind. You're like, if I break my leg while I sleep, I don't have to work tomorrow. You woke up and you're like, oh, dang, it's still there.
The leg's not broken. That's not broke. I mean, it was the weirdest thing ever. But I was like, where did I come up with this broken leg thing? Like, why would I think why would I dream that my leg was,
no, I see. Yeah. As soon as you pick up the buffer, you have like a flashback to like, oh yeah, I did break my leg in my dream last night, so I didn't have to do this.
Yep.
Hey,
it was bad.
The only way to get shit done is to grind it out.
Huh.
And that was not I mean, I see now that it was funny, but like that was just it is. I mean, you just gotta hammer it out.
That first 2 hours back every day was like pretty rough. Just
if you get through that, like getting started and getting going, then it's just like done.
Yeah.
Everything.
Once the muscles like understood what was going on again, I could take like a 5-minute break or 2-minute break, put the buffer down for a second, sit down, and just kind of
zen out.
Yeah, zen out for 5 minutes, play on Snapchat, whatever, and then jump back up and keep going. But damn, that was a job, man. I got another one coming in mid-July.
Do it.
Make money.
Making dollars.
Gotta go to work.
Gotta buy them Jeep parts.
I gotta buy a computer.
That Jeep chassis.
So I ordered it. I sent the monies. The parts are ordered. The graphics card's on back order. So I don't know when it's going to come in. But he said he ordered everything else and he's going to have it all put together. So as soon as the graphics card shows up, he'll be able just to slam it in there, run through all the processes, and
send it.
Yep, and ship it to me.
Nice.
Yeah, that fucker was expensive.
The good stuff always is.
Yeah, I dropped like $2,000
on a computer
on just the tower.
Nope.
Yep.
Not for me.
Not for you. I am so over slow computers.
I mean, I'm over it. I'm just not willing to spend $2,000 on a computer.
That's how over it I am.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's gonna be nasty.
I'm just glad I can just drop a GoPro card off with you and be like, here, just make me a video.
You know, Derek knows computer stuff, right? You know, he's built a couple of his own.
Yep.
And he does gaming on them. Like he's always playing SnowRunner and stuff like that. I sent him the specs for this one. He's like, dude, that thing's gonna rip.
Well, that's good.
And then in the process of me not ordering it, all of the new, like the latest and greatest software dropped. And so Adam was like, Well, all the newest stuff drops, so you get the generation that was just the hot shit. Now you get it for less.
Winning.
Yes. So it is literally the second from newest generation. If I wanted all the newest generation, it would have been about 3,500, I think.
Jesus. So no more YouTube Naziness.
Shouldn't be once it gets here. Nice. And low-key TV should start getting a lot of videos in it. Nice. I'm going to order a couple GoPros probably. At least one. Maybe two. 2 GoPro 8s.
Do it.
Yep. Couple of Hero 8 Blacks. They're on sale. It's like $600 worth of GoPros. I guess I could buy 2 of them.
Get them around Christmas time.
I don't know if they're going to get on any better
That's
sale.
The problem.
I mean, when the next one comes out, but they're on $100 sale because apparently they're just not good enough to upgrade from a 7 to an 8. A lot of people are really bitching on it. My cousin's really upset about how some of the new stuff for the GoPro 8, but
what do you do?
I'm watching the videos and I'm like, looks good enough for me.
Yeah. Well, different strokes for different folks.
You ready for some good videos for the YouTube channel?
Yeah, I am.
Start growing our following.
Because I like taking videos of things. I just don't have the ability or knowledge or desire
or computer
to
edit,
make the thing come together. So
then really all I need you to do is take all your GoPros and just start videoing everything.
Yep, I can do that.
And then we'll just take the footage and merge it all together.
No, not you. Yes.
Yeah, it'll get done.
Got it.
Eventually. I'll be like Mike. I'll be a year behind on getting things out.
That's okay. It happens.
But at least he has the footage. Did you see that video?
No.
Oh, you haven't watched it yet?
No.
Oh, you're missing out. If you guys haven't watched it yet,
go over to service for the last 2 days.
Oh, this is true. Go over to Keep It Simple Off-Road YouTube channel and check out Max's build. He just got Max's build video done from like a year and a half ago or whatever it was, or a year ago. And it's cool.
I could just go take a picture of my garage and then play music to it for 3 years. And that's the build video.
It's looked like this for 3 years.
Yeah. Is this a still shot? No, this is live.
This is live.
Nobody's come in the garage. That's the thing. It's horrible.
Mm-hmm. So anyway,
quick recap.
Mm-hmm.
Crawler Off-Road.
Yes.
10% off. Buy your stuff now.
Yes.
Soft shackles, man. We're using the shit out of them this weekend.
Were you?
Yep.
Did you use any 2-inch kinetic ropes?
Nope.
Lame.
Losers.
What else did you use?
We used the shit out of some synthetic rope.
Yeah.
Epic.
Lots of line. Yeah.
Fuck tons of soft shackles.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have a tree saver. No, we were already using the one guy's tree saver. How many
different brands of soft shackle do you think you had your hands on this weekend? A lot. Yeah. Did you have any favorites?
Nope.
No?
I'm not going to lie.
Nobody had any crawler.
And this is not a knock on any company.
Yeah.
Product. They're all the same shit.
Yeah.
Each one has their different stuff or different styles or different this. Some of them had different ways that the knot went through the opening and this, that, and the other.
Did you have a preference on what type of opening in the knot?
Here's the funny thing about that. You really didn't have time to think about it too much.
You just open it.
You just kind of somebody throw you a soft shackle.
None of them
just grab it and go. They weren't oh my gosh, how the fuck, where's the direction manual for this?
Yeah.
You figured it out.
Right.
But here's what I'm going to tell you. There was so much. Now this is granted not your wreck trail wheeling stuff, recovery. So
you just wrap around a concept. Let her eat.
No, I mean, there were guys that had shackle tabs and stuff too, but you also went to tubes a lot. But their guy'd be standing 20 foot up on this vertical ledge, and you'd go, you're it's all you can do to stand up and hold on to this buggy that's upside down, leaking fluids and shit out.
Jesus, yeah.
And it's throw me a shackle. And somebody wings a soft shackle down to you and you grab it or catch it or it lands or whatever.
Could you imagine doing that with a bow shackle?
Ain't nobody fucking saying wing me a D-ring over here, bud.
Just lower that bow shackle down. Yeah. Nice and easy now.
So that's the biggest takeaway from the whole thing was it does not matter what brand you go buy.
They're all
just go buy synthetic stuff because fuck using steel winch cable. Because there's so many times where we just leave winch cable out. You coil it up like a drop cord or something real nice and set it on somebody's hood or around your stinger or whatever. And then you take that winch rope, you'd get the vehicle close enough to it, you'd take it and you just wing it up at the guy.
Yeah.
And you'd get close to him and you're right there. And
it's perfect.
You ain't doing that with no steel. You ain't throwing no fucking steel cable at me.
No thanks.
I'm not touching a steel cable to throw it either.
So if you were going to go buy some synthetic rope since they're all pretty much the same.
I mean, why would you not go buy from a quality company like Crawler Off-Road
that has killer prices?
Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like, I'm not knocking one company or not, but like,
they're all similar stuff.
It's all the same. It gets the job done.
So I pay 3 times as much for one over the other.
Yep. And especially when the quality of product is comparable. The one thing I can say is the more synthetic, not synthetic, the more covering over the winch cable you can have to slide around better. There were times where we were going around a couple suspension components and stuff that it would have been nice to have an extra, like
10 feet or
like Cordura. That's what it was. The like covering, protective covering would have been nice to have like 2 pieces of that instead of 1, which Crawlers does have 2. So that's, I mean, those are the particulars, but, I mean, at the end of the day, soft shackle is a soft shackle. I'll be throwing a soft shackle around all day versus a steel D-ring.
Oh yeah.
And
they're almost the same price at this point.
Yep.
What do we give them from Crawler? Was it $20 a soft shackle?
I think so. I mean, go buy a steel shackle and pay tax and a steel shackle.
$13.99 or whatever. And it's a bow shackle.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, it was super, super nice using a lot. I don't think we had it. We either didn't have a short enough tree saver or we were already using it in what we were doing. We ended up having to use like 3 or 4 soft shackles to go around a tree to hook to a snatch block. And it worked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You just like daisy chain them together? Jeez.
Is it right? No.
Did it work?
Did it get the buggy upside or off its fucking roof and up down this hill? Yeah. So I'm like,
I mean, theoretically, if you look at like the ratings on those soft shackles, they're like, 30, 40,000 pounds. Like, and shouldn't be a reason you shouldn't.
I don't want to admit this, but I'm going to admit this.
Okay.
There were times we were winching stuff and you probably should have not been standing where you were standing. Cause I'm usually pretty like observant about this. Like, if that thing breaks and this mount comes off and that D-ring comes flying back at my head, I don't want to stand here. The way we were using it with a soft shackle, did not have a thimble on the rope. It was just the eye end on the one winch. And you'd use
just the stainless thimble, like the really thin one.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Again, is it the right way? No. Did it work? Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
We weren't going to a welded attachment point. We were going around a tube chassis.
Yeah.
Tube. So you would sit there and you'd kind of go, I probably shouldn't stand here. And then you're like, well, what's going to fail?
Might be more worried about the rope failing and you like getting run over by the buggy.
Well, that's what I mean. As long as you're uphill and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say be less safe.
Turn around.
Yeah. You don't want to be less safe, but at the same time, when you put I don't know how much a D-ring shackle weighs versus a synthetic shackle, like, I don't want to take either one to the head, but like, you're not going to, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know. That was my first like real introduction because I don't use a winch all that often.
Right. Yeah.
Off-roading and trail riding that you're using a winch every couple runs and it's like, Jesus,
Right.
And it was, nice. It was nice because it was all synthetic stuff.
So you were dealing with all synthetic stuff. Were the soft shackles, did they belong to the racers or did they belong to the person doing recovery?
Yep.
Was it? Okay.
There was some racers that would have a synthetic shackle on, like some of them didn't have winches on their buggies. Some had winches. I know the one guy, he had a winch with a flat link and had a soft shackle through it. And we used, I think, somebody else's to hook to this snatch block. And I ended up using the one on the front of his buggy. And then it was like, all right, who shits who? And you were like, well, that one's this guy's, that one's this guy's, and that one's this guy's. So it was kind of a mix of both. Most of the recovery stuff was the like people that owned the recovery vehicles.
Yeah.
But like every once in a while, you use a soft shackle on a racer's rig or something like that. But yeah, it was wild. It definitely like believer in synthetic recovery products. If I wasn't, I already was, but it was neat to
hands on
get a shit ton of experience all cram packed in one.
Would have been awesome if you'd been wearing a Crawler shirt.
I was wearing a vest.
But even better
if I had a Crawler vest.
Whose hat were you wearing?
United Rentals. It was America. Like a ghosted flag in it. It's pretty cool.
I can't believe you didn't wear a Wolf Fabworks hat.
Dick. I feel like I didn't bring that one.
You didn't want to lose it.
I just don't I packed on my lunch break for this trip as I normally do.
Like, I just need this, and this.
Yeah. And I was like, I feel like I'm forgetting some things, but I didn't. I had too much shit as usual.
For a podcast.
I had a whole, I think I took 10 shirts and some koozies. Did you sell anything? Some hats. I did not.
Seriously?
Dude, let's get into this. Let's have it, because this is
we can. I mean, we're just segueing right to the main. I mean, we're almost an hour into.
I'm going to start at the beginning.
Okay, so we're just now getting into the main topic.
Sure. I don't have anything else.
I'll just sit back here and you just shut my mic off. I'll just sit here and you just talk about whatever.
You got to interact though.
In my nice new chair.
Yeah, it looks good on you.
Oh God, it
makes you look comfortable. It makes you look happier.
I'm happier.
You're like,
this is nice.
This is a life upgrade.
I'm leaned back, like my microphone doesn't buzz or make any noise. Like, look at this. Look how comfortable I am right now.
I know you're like glowing of happiness.
That's nice.
So me and Jake Terry on our podcast,
YouTube Nazi.
Yep, just Mr. YouTube Nazi. Mm-hmm. I picked him up on the way down there. We went down there. We got there probably, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock. We pulled in, pretty much pulled in, and we're like, yep, we're tired as shit. Everybody else was tired from setting up race stuff.
When did you get down there?
Probably 9:30, 10-ish.
Oh, that's not bad.
No.
See, I thought you'd still be there when I called you.
Nope.
Yeah. I mean, I thought you would still be on the road when I called you. I figured you'd get down there.
No, we were about to pull into the bottom campgrounds when we were on the phone with you, and then we lost you. And I'm like, well, there goes the service for the weekend.
I'm glad that my voice was the last voice you get to hear on the phone.
It was. Yeah. And then the funny thing was, you must have lost us and you were still talking, kind of a thing. And then we're like, well, we can hear you, but you can't hear us. Yep. It was funny.
I was like, all right, well, I guess you must be at the park. I'll see you later.
Yep, they go. So we got there, did that, camped. And then I almost said Sunday. Saturday, the driver's meeting was at 9. So we got up early. Shelby did his awesome Emerald stuff and cooked us some breakfast, which was pimp.
Bam.
Yeah. I don't usually eat breakfast, but he force fed me eggs and bacon, which, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with it.
I won't resist you.
Yeah.
So we did that and got to meet some people from the off-road community. Not really community, more of like the Outlaw Offroad Series guys. And then we did the driver's meeting, and that was pretty interesting. Wasn't bad. It was just interesting to watch. And then we went down to the race hills and, proceeded to like line some buggies up and figure out how things were going to be set up and run and all that. I think there was 38 bouncers and like, I was mid-20s of UTVs. That was their biggest turnout racer wise that they've ever had. And I truly believe that that's going to keep growing just because they're giving bigger payouts. In the driver's meeting, it was said, it's like, we're not here to make money. We're here to, you guys pay in, we pay out. The more people show up, the bigger payouts I can give you. Like, cause if I was a racer, I'd be like, fuck yeah. Especially when everybody likes the courses, likes the style of races and stuff like that. You're like, I'll come back for more money.
Right.
So I think it's growing, which is nice. They're doing more stuff. There's a few more races that are being talked about, added to the schedule, which will add some more people to that base because of the location. Let's see what else. So then, I got my headset, which is pretty dope. I looked I'm pretty sure I just looked official as shit. That's all I gotta say. Yeah. Not to feel like I felt important, but I also felt like I wasn't going to get kicked out of anywhere. But I also did lock my microphone so that I could not talk or hit the button or like fuck up something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't want to be responsible for fucking something. I'd be like, whose radio button's stuck down? Like, oh yeah, that's
these fucking fucktards.
So this fucking, who gave this fucking guy a radio? Like, damn it, Shelby.
You're just over saying like random shit.
Yeah, over there like singing to myself or something. Well, there was one time, speaking of that, there was one time this UTV backflips over this hill and like the right front tire catches a tree. So this motherfucker is on a vertical hill, stood like it's like a fucking NASA rocket about to take off. And I'm like, you're kind of getting over there, and a couple other people like more in shape got up the hill a little faster. And the guys, like this dude like popped out of this fucking buggy kind of a thing. And they're like, oh, he's good. Nothing's on fire. I'm like, all right. And then I'm like, I said it out loud. I was like, oh, fuck. Thinking like, how the fuck do you get that thing out of the tree? Like, oh, fuck. And I was like, all right, like, as someone wearing a Outlaw Offroad vest and looking important. She probably shouldn't be walking up to this thing going, oh, fuck. Like, I was like, okay, like.
So you didn't stick to your not saying cuss
No,
words.
I didn't. I was not given the microphone to say fuck to the public.
Shelby was the main announcer, wasn't he?
He did a great job. Like, I don't want to blow his fucking head up or nothing, but like, he's very engaging. Like,
when I watched that video that lady took of her daughter racing up there.
Yep.
I was like, sounds like Shelby back there.
He's not. He had a paper. I'm not gonna lie. He did have a piece of paper that had like the driver lineup, so he knew like who was supposed to be there.
Yeah,
but it like we've all been to events where you're like, Ian Boyce, you know, and you're like, he knew the people, knew some backstory, knew where they were from, knew whose buggy they were running or what power plant. Like, oh, these two are Ford power plants, and like. It's not a big deal, but it just adds to it. And you're not like reading this shit off a spec sheet or something. You actually truly are in it and know it. And I'm like I said, I hate to blow his head up, but he does a very, very good job with it.
And that's why they got him in there to do it.
Yeah. And I mean, like very engaging to the crowd and everything. It was great.
I was wondering if we should have him on here as a guest.
He's probably laying down beat.
Oh, please. Dude, it's not like he was running up a hill.
So he was up there a couple times.
The only reason I said that is like, obviously he has stories from the weekend as well.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't know if we should call him up and have him for a guest or whatever, but you know, it's always an option with him.
Yep. Everybody, they had, like I said, record turnout. So it was like 116, something like that, like timed runs up these hills to get through. And we didn't start racing until right at 11.
Oh my God.
And you had 106, like over 100 runs up the hill. And you had to change the courses twice and all the recovery. They were like, yeah, this is like a ridiculous amount of recovery for a normal race for us. And I'm like, why? And nobody's like, I don't know. Courses aren't like harder or anything. It's just people, you know, going for it, I guess.
I'm gonna get that pot.
Yeah. And so it was, I mean, it was just slowing things down but it was a very smooth run event.
That's awesome.
And it was neat being able to be listening to like the behind the scenes stuff because it is so organized on the radio that it is like, it shows on the front side. Like as somebody that's never been to an event, like seeing how it's run, you would be like, well, this is not a clusterfuck, or, you know, they know what they're doing. And whether they do or not, they faked it real nice, you know, but that's the thing is they do know what they're doing. So they didn't have to bullshit you. And like, we've never done this before. They had a very specific procedure on how they would make sure the courses were clear before they, you know, greenlit the next run up the hill.
Yep.
You know, a couple people had to sign off that their side of the hill was clear. Then she was signing off that the timers were all good. Then the starter did their thing and this, that, and the other. And the procedure was very, you know, same every time. Like no exceptions. If she did not get is your side of the hill clear? She would ask until she got one. Yeah. And there were a couple times you're like, you could hear the person, but apparently she couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
And so she'd ask like 2 or 3 times and you're like standing there and you're like, he said yes 3 times. But to the point, like the last thing you want to do is send a 1,400 horsepower buggy bombing up a fucking hill. And this guy's walking up the hill tying tape up or something.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I mean,
where are you going to go? That buggy will chase you up a hill. No problem.
Yep. So it was very like strict, safe, and like, I don't know, it was kind of impressive. I know it probably to them, it's like, oh yeah, that's what we do. But it was very impressive to see.
But you know, it didn't start that way.
No,
you know what I mean? Like they've built up to that and have learned how to go through and do things a certain way. And
they're constantly changing stuff too, and not big changes, but like little procedural stuff to get, you know, to this point. And then also with the understanding they want to grow and get better. One thing I want to say, comment on, I guess. I was impressed because we've had Kevin on the podcast. He, I don't want to say owns, but like runs the series.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can own it. I guess you can own
like, technically, he owns it. Like, isn't he like the main one? He started it. Yeah. So technically you own the series.
Owner.
Yeah.
Promoter. But see, he's more than a promoter. Director. I like series director.
But
that's some business card.
But like
shit.
Without him, does it exist?
As far as I know, no. I might not
like if Kevin said tomorrow, I'm not doing this, somebody else would have to say, well, I want to take that over. And if he said, no, it's mine, you go get your own name.
Something like that,
right?
I would imagine.
So he's the owner.
Yeah.
Yeah. And director.
Series director.
CEO.
/ CEO.
CEO.
Series CEO. I don't know. I feel like I could come up with a cool business card name for him.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we've had Kevin on before. We'll probably have him on again, talk about some stuff before finals or something.
Mm-hmm.
I have never been to one of these events. So let me premise this with that. You pointed your finger at me like you had something important to say.
Not to interrupt you, but I have a quick question.
Yes.
Is there a podcast that talks more about bouncer stuff than this one?
Nope.
There's not?
Nope.
Seriously?
Yep.
We are the Bouncer Podcast?
Yep.
But not really?
Yep.
Just because you like bouncers?
Yep.
Did you get a message from Snail Trail from...
Yep.
You did?
Yep.
What'd you tell him?
Yep.
We're the one?
Yep.
What'd he say?
Yep.
Yep. There's a lot of yeps in that.
I would answer the question, though, didn't it? There's no other Talent Tank is very Ultra 4 heavy.
Right.
And
that's they're straight Ultra 4. It's like, and we don't do what he does.
No.
Though we could.
We could.
But we don't currently.
I feel like we could balance it. Because here's my thing. That's the thing. He doesn't do an episode a week on the Talent Tank.
No.
So if we wanted to do an episode a week, I mean, let's be honest here. I don't want to be an asshole, but there was 38 bouncers at this event. Well, there's going to be the same people plus or minus a couple at the next event.
Yeah.
Eventually, if we interview one person every week, we're going to run out of people. God.
Yeah. But if we did one once a month, I mean, it'd take 2 years to get through them all.
But I also don't want to do a monthly podcast. So that's where I'm like, well, I get what you're saying.
We could do the normal podcast, and then once a month we could kick out the extra podcast.
So there's some things we'll be discussing about that because I do think it's a great market.
This was off the cuff. This is not something we discussed ahead of time. But I just remembered that Jimmy messaged me and he was like, hey, is there a bouncer podcast? I was like, This is literally what I said to him. Well, Total Offroad Podcast does a lot of bouncer things.
Yep. Being
that one of the hosts is all about that bouncer life.
I love it.
And he was like, but I feel like there was one that's maybe more specific. Which podcast did you have me listen to that does the car sales thing? What was that?
Racing on the Rocks.
Racing on the Rocks. Was that more side by side?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember.
He wasn't full on bouncer stuff.
That's what I was thinking, like bouncer. I was thinking that one may be more bouncer than this one.
Mm-hmm.
But I see it.
No. So yeah, we're going to be getting into that a little bit, I think.
Okay.
Because it's kind of fun. I would like to know more about how these guys get their start into it. Because from what I've gathered, there's some different paths to it that are kind of interesting. I don't remember what I was going to say. So we've talked to Kevin.
Yep.
Owner, CEO, director, series.
Yes. Sorry, Michelle up. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have him back on at some point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know like what he would do in a normal on a race weekend.
Uh-huh.
I know he has his buggy done, and that is holy fuck ridiculous.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's built definitely more Ultra 4 style for Ultra 4 stuff.
Oh, really?
But
so is he gonna race at King of the Hammers?
That's the plan.
Nice.
And it's got a Porsche hood on it. Like it's got Porsche headlights grafted into the hood and wrapped. It's like green and black with Porsche logo and shit on the hood.
That's cool.
It's badass.
Okay.
Truly quality build too. It's fucking pimp. He's like, let me know. And he kept telling people, he's like, let me know if you see anything you'd change or whatever. And I said, well, does it have your name on the door? And he said, no. And I said, oh, well, never mind. I was going to suggest you change the sticker to somebody else's name on the door. I mean, if you need an example per se.
And he said, hop in it.
I don't feel like that was what he said. I don't think there was a hop in or bud said, but
you were hoping.
Boy, I was trying. I'm like, I got my helmet. I'm ready to go, bud. I'll get her in there. I'll figure it out. Uh-huh. No, I don't need the directions. I'll push buttons till it makes
I just need to use it to run to the bathroom.
Yeah, I got to go over there. Where's there? Over there. So I didn't know what he would do in a normal day.
Yeah.
What's fucks? He sit at the time. He has a couple people that do timing. Mm-hmm. So clearly you're not going to do that. Do you just sit there and on a radio and walk around and shake hands and make sure that shit goes right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Now you do.
He impressed the shit out of me with this because I have not.
He was delivering beers.
No.
Okay.
I would say better than that, but I mean, that's pretty, that would be pretty nice. He was visiting me in the VIP chair. I didn't even have a chair. I forgot to take a fucking chair. Not like I had time to sit down that day anyway, but I was like, I forgot a fucking chair.
Oh, well.
There's always something to sit on.
So anyway, what did he do?
So I made a couple notes that I wanted to make sure I hit because I didn't want to leave anything off. So we were doing, I was working recovery from the bottom. There were people that would come from the top, and then my oversized billy goat not having ass would run up the bottom of the hill.
Right.
He was at the bottom of the hill where the timing and scoring was. So we were always kind of standing pretty close to each other, watching this shit go up the hill. Dude was always like, if he wasn't strapped into his buggy getting to run, always up the hill. Like one of the first people to the buggy, like right there, making sure like, oh, you're okay. All right, let's get you out. You know, like there's one guy was upside down and we were working right there to get his window net up, hold his shit out of his way, get his, cool air hoses and belts off. And then like, all right, you let me know when you're braced and I'll pop your belts off. And he was right in there. I mean, like you don't see that from people usually in that level of importance.
Right.
So I was impressed by that. It was something I noticed that I was like, probably could hire, have somebody else do that, but he's right there.
That's what he enjoys doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he was always up there. The other thing he was doing, like, helping with the scoring and timing stuff and little general stuff. And, but he was very involved. The other thing that blew my fucking mind. So he has his buggy that he was running and competing and all this stuff. And you would think helmet goes on, window net goes up, fuck off. Like, this is my zone. You guys figure shit out on your own until I get out of the race car. No. So there was an instance where he was sitting, they had pulled him and whoever he was running up to the start line, like literally about to go. And something happened on the last run. And I don't remember which, because there was a couple different things. I believe someone crossed into the other lane. And I think the way it's discussed in the driver's meeting, if somebody crosses into your lane, because you're not racing side by side like a drag strip. Yeah. You're racing the clock on a different lane, but their lanes are right next to each other at times. Yeah. So if somebody crosses into your lane and interferes with your run, you have the option of a rerun. Assuming that it interfered with you. Now, if they cross in your lane and they're like fucking 5 minutes behind you, kind of a concept, like, dude, shut up. What's the point? Right. Yeah. So as long as it interferes with your run and causes you to have any kind of interference, you're allowed to rerun that for a legit time. Yeah. Somebody crossed into another lane and something like that and caused him to stop, and he had to wait and then go around the guy or something like that. The guy that did that got a DNF on the first hill because he broke something. So that was the preview to that, I guess. So they were trying, of course, the timing and scoring people don't see this. Right. Because their backs are the hill because they're looking at a computer. Right. And you're trying to, like, the hills all over the place. Yeah. So it's not like a drag strip where you can look down and go, well, no shit, know? So they're not even, there's no point in them trying to look at this. So the people at the top of the hill are kind of on those, like, spotter recovery, inform you, if we got to fix tape, if their course is cool, whatever. So they're calling out on the radio to her at the timing table that this happened. It took a couple transmissions back and forth to get it figured out because, how they were relaying the message. And then it got, done. Well, then that turned into radioing to the guy over in the pits. It's like, hey, we need to stop this guy and tell him he is allowed to rerun like as soon as possible, or he can come back in line, because that way the course doesn't change. He can have a, fair shot right back up the hill. So all this is going on over radio, which is like texting someone. It's just like, Jesus, this is so annoying. Like, could have been like, if I was in front of you, I'd just tell you, but we're spread out all over this hillside. So I'm listening to this all go down over the radio, and of course, they were trying to do other shit too, rather than just sit there and listen to the radio. They are anyway. So I'm hearing all this go down, and all of a sudden I hear a voice on the radio, like very calmly, like the guy like made the God decision. He's like, this is what we're doing. Tell them, done. Like, no more arguing, or no more really arguing, but no more conversation. Right. It was Kevin inside his fucking, like sitting at the fucking starting line in his buggy. I'm like, dude, you can turn that motherfucker off. Like, you don't need to be involved. Like, you would think guy just be like, nope, when I'm nets up, I'm in my zone.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out as soon as I get done with this 30-second run. Nope. That's how involved he was.
Has his rugged radio on, just sitting there listening, like,
yeah.
Let's see, how are we going to mitigate this?
Literally making the official call on something that, I mean, they made the right call. It wasn't really never a question of right or wrong. It was more of a, this is what happened. We need to identify this. All right, tell him. All right, stop him. See if he wants to rerun now or later or whatever. But it's like, dude's in his race car, belted in, ready to still running up this hill, calling shots. And I'm like, how much more involvement do you want from a series director than that?
Isn't that crazy?
Blew my mind.
And the spectators didn't even see that happen.
Nobody had a clue except for like 8 people that had a radio on. That any of that went down.
How long did that take to go down?
A minute.
So they just saw the buggy sitting at the start line, like, how come they're not going yet?
Yeah, because they'd pull every once in a while, they'd pull it up, and half the time, a spectator, you can't see the whole course anyway, so you don't know if somebody broke or whatever.
Yeah, right.
And I do believe somebody, I don't remember, because it only caused the guy to have to lift out of the gas and then like wait for him to kind of get back in his lane and then go. But it definitely, like I saw it, it was clear. Yeah. But it's just a matter of like them relaying it down. Then and there was never arguing, but it was like, I'm going to inform you. We need to stop him, get him, and see if he wants to rerun. He chose not to rerun because his first hill was a DNF anyway. So he's like, I don't give a shit. I was just running the second hill to run the second hill, and if I get a faster time, it doesn't. I got a DNF on the first hill, so it doesn't matter. I can't podium with that. So why try it again to maybe fuck your shit up? So it was just mind blowing. I'm like, dude, if anywhere was a time where you could be like, I'm literally about to run up a hill.
Yeah, don't bug me.
Don't bother me. But like, oh, hold on, I'm going to make this call.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's him.
That's awesome.
So that was pretty cool. The other thing I can say was just like, it was mind blowing how smooth everything ran, like in a radio chatter, like behind the scenes kind of way, because you wouldn't have no clue if you were just a spectator there or even a racer or anything. And I think that's probably one thing that would suck about doing that, all that behind the scenes stuff. The racers have no clue goes on.
Isn't that wild? Like,
oh, hold on, we got to fix tape. All right, we got to make sure the course is clear. All right, everybody's safe. Course is clear. All right, action.
Yeah, green light.
They just pull up to the line when they're told to, hit the gas and drive up the hill. That's all the tape's up, so they have a fair shot at seeing the course. Everybody's off out of the way. This, that, and the other. It's like it's mind blowing.
That's awesome.
It's cool. That's why I wanted the radio, because I love that behind the scenes shit.
Because I want to listen in.
It gives you a perspective that
that you would not have. You would come back and you're like, I got to go watch the old buggy show.
They drove up and down a hill and stuff. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Let's see what else. I had that, dude. Their courses were legit. Like I've seen some hills and stuff. Like they didn't just go Bounty Hill style. They went like, you could see the reasoning once you started watching these guys run up these hills. You saw the reasoning behind where this turned left and turned right and did this. And like the way they set the courses up was very technical, not just
Did they have to move any trees to set the course up?
I think they took a couple little ones out here and there. Yeah,
like little saplings. Nothing. So they went around the big trees and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was always curious about that. Technical, I was always curious, like, is this a spot that somebody else has already wiped out and you guys just use that? Or
from what I understood, the hills were very, very close to what they ran last year with a couple tweaks here and there. But then for the top 10 bouncers come back and run a third hill, which was a combo of the two, which involved them taking some tape like over here and moving it over here. You'd run like up this line where you normally went down this line. The third hill had an uncut climb on the one side and then an uncut climb on the other side. And I'm standing there. Of course, I gave the drivers like 5 minutes or whatever to look at this. And I'm standing there with these bouncer guys, like looking at this hill going, well, I see how I would probably try it if I was like going to do this. But it'll be very interesting to see, because what's going to happen is one person's going to go up this hill and it's either going to fail or it's not going to work. It's either not going to work or it's going to work. So the second guy is going to go, all right, well, he tried this and it worked. So clearly you can go up that. Now I just need to go up it faster.
Right.
So I was like, once somebody gets a line figured out, it'd be very odd to see a different line get cut just because you know it worked. So you just do it faster.
Right.
Sounds easy, right? So that the first guy that went up it, like everybody's watching, this one guy is just, I mean, in the gas going up this, like weeds and everything up this hill. And you're like, oh, well, look at that. It just went right up it. I mean, it wasn't like walking into the mall parking lot, but it was like, huh, well, fuck, look at that, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
And it was, so like, it was not the way I thought I would have went up that hill.
Oh, really?
Because there's like a couple trees that you had to go around, and I'm like, man, you could almost cut it back to the right. But when they started going, they went to the left of it, and kind of like the gravity of the hill, you kind of slid it around and up this tree. And I'm like, oh, that's pimp. Because I'm thinking more of like the technical rock driving versus like working with your traction or lack thereof to work in your advantage to almost slide it like sideways, drift it around this tree. And I'm like, I was fucking.
Isn't that wild?
And it almost like everybody kind of got a little faster and like it was nuts. I was impressed. It was kind of like, huh.
Are we to the meat and potatoes yet?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. The only other thing I got was some names to shout out, which I'm just waiting for you to get to that TC part that you wouldn't tell me earlier. Oh, I'll tell you that in a second.
Okay.
So they had, let's see, there was a very small crew. That's what I was also kind of surprised with. Yeah. They're like, we walked up to the like drivers meeting thing before everybody got there. And I'm like, you know, and Shelby's like, oh, this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so. And I'm like, all right, where's the other like 35 people that run this bitch? You know, like,
he's like, you're looking at them.
Yeah, this is it.
See how they all have 3 ball caps on?
Let's see. Kevin, we talked about.
Yep.
Heath Day and Carrie Day. Heath does their course and like, dude's like a fucking billy goat.
Oh, really?
Dude, I've never seen anybody bomb around a hill like he does, and it's ridiculous.
Really?
Dude runs his ass off. And I'm like, I don't know how you haven't busted your ass down this hill, but it's impressive.
Good shoes.
I think his wife was running the t-shirt, merch tent and all that, I believe.
I've heard of the Heath Day. I've heard that name.
Yep. Let's see. Dawn and Brian, husband and wife. Dawn was a like head timer lady at the table. Okay. And Brian was the guy doing the starting. Which is kind of neat. He was very meticulous and very, like I said, very consistent. They both were on asking things over the radio, doing procedural stuff, which makes it so smooth.
That's awesome.
Brent Rhodes was doing some recovery, racing, kind of helping with everything.
Brent Rhodes.
Yep.
Do we know that name?
It's got a cool bouncer. Got a cool side by side.
That's not Rhodes Diffs.
No. Different guy.
Okay.
Jerry Foley, was excited to meet him. Talked some shit on the internet and back and forth on the internet over a while, and got to meet him in person. He's a fucking awesome dude.
Is he?
He does, and I would not want his job. Like I want a job, but I want that job. He's in charge of like doing all the staging of all the drivers in the pits, getting them lined up and like in their buggy. And it's like being a fucking kindergartner teacher. He's like, I've tried everything from numbers to lining them up and all this. He's like, it's like herding kindergartners, you know? I'm like, dude, no way. No way. Cause every time they're like, where's this guy? And he's like, he's strapping into his buggy. Well, get him up here. I'm like, what do you walk over there and like poke the guy? Like, hurry up, hurry up. I'm like, I don't want to be an asshole, but like, get the fuck in your car and get the fuck to the starting, you know, like,
got 113 cars to run. Let's go.
So but he did nailed it. Let's see. Did I miss? Oh, Jan Collins was doing recovery stuff on the top. Pimp propane, small block on Rockwell's.
Oh my.
It was dope.
That sounds
cool. Jake was
what was it? It was a buggy?
It's like a Jeep.
Okay.
But I mean, I think it was like a tube chassis, but it had like a tub kind of a concept. It was pimp though. Let's see. I don't want to miss somebody. I'm going to feel. Oh, that's right. Shelby.
Never heard of her.
Dick. Him and his wife, he did the announcing. His wife, Amy, was working at the timing table too. And
she must be a saint to put up with that asshole.
She was very nice. Yes. He definitely will admit it though. He's like, yep. She's the better half. And I'm like, dude, that's when you know you got to, because that's how I am.
I was going to say, yeah,
I'm like I'm just the asshole. She's the super nice person that like people keep coming to see. And I'm just the grumpy old fuck in the corner. Here. Yeah. So him and his wife, he did a great job. It was kind of neat to watch him in his element. Like I like giving him shit, and I'm going to give him shit until I can't talk or write.
Yeah, right.
Shit on the internet. But He was very good at it.
That's nice.
Like I said, it's not that like announcer that reads shit off of paper.
Kind words come out of your mouth directed towards Shelby.
I think I fell and hit my head.
You must have.
He put something in the eggs. That's what it was.
That's what it was.
It was also cool, and it sucked because the day was so busy. Like driver's meeting, hill start, like solid. I didn't eat lunch.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't eat fucking thing all day, other than breakfast and a snack when we were done. And I'm like, this is fucked up because I'm a fat kid. I eat, Yeah. I didn't eat nothing. I was going to eat barbecue and all this, but I never there was a couple breaks and I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'll do this. And then I'd see like something I wanted to go look at and I go look at it and they're like, oh, we're going to start again. I'm like, fuck, I didn't get a fucking sandwich. I should have just done it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So it sucked because there was so many people that I wanted to talk to that you would see, but like they're doing their shit or I'm over here and you didn't want to go bother them like media guys. Like you're here to get footage and pictures. So I don't want to bother you.
Busted Knuckle down there?
They were not.
Okay.
Hill Rod Films was there.
Yeah.
Dylan Patton with D-Pat was there. He's like a little Billy Goat spider machine thing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, every time because I was at the bottom of the hill all day. He was at the top of the hill taking pictures, and I'm like, so we would never really. There was never a time to stand in a bullshit because then we left when it was over. Yeah. So he was one I didn't get to talk to. I've already talked to on the old phone this morning, and I'm like, meant to get a hat. He had his new hats down there that are available, and I was like, I was gonna get a hat and stand there and bullshit with you, and I was like, I saw you running around, but I'd never there was never a time to bullshit. I did get to talk to, the other one I got to saw that was Pimp was Eagle Eye Productions. Mm-hmm. They do, I cannot for the friggin' life of me remember that guy's name, like at all. But
Eagle Eye Productions?
Yep. He does the drone footage. I found myself, me and Shelby were talking about it one time. I was like, I'm standing here watching this fucking drone fly around. Going, holy shit, I've never seen anybody run a drone that skillfully. And it was friggin' it was almost mesmerizing watching this drone because normally like a drone will sit there and like the car will drive by the drone.
Right. This
guy would like reverse chase this fucking buggy up the hill.
Didn't we?
Yeah, there was the video from Viagra, and I'm like, I've never seen Viagra. It's a whole new line of the crack at Viagra that I've never seen. That's beautiful. But like, he would reverse chase these buggies up a hill, and I'm like, just sitting there watching this fucking drone fly backwards, and going, oh yeah, there's like 1,000 horsepower bouncer running right there. Maybe I should check that out. Nah. Like, look at this drone.
Seen a couple of those already.
And he's just over there with a little remote control driving this. I'm like, dude, it was pimp. So look for him to have some badass products, video coming out. What else? Let's see. Hill Rod Films. Check them out on YouTube. They do some badass videography, and they had, I think, 3 or 4 guys there with them. They also had D-Pat was there. I don't know if he had anybody shooting with him, but I know somebody said he brought a couple guys with him. So I don't know if that meant they were shooting with him. As far as I know, he shoots all his own stuff, I believe.
Yeah.
So Eagle Eye. And then the third one that I did get to talk to, because turns out she was mad because she was on the bottom of the hill and not on the hill, but she was not allowed on the hill because I think she said she was 6 months pregnant, was Laura from Outlaw Photography.
Oh, really?
And she's like, yeah, I really like to be up on the hill, which is like all the other media people. But she's like, well, I'm 6 months pregnant. I'm like, yeah, probably a good,
maybe you ought to stay down here. I don't know.
Not running up the hill. Yeah. Maybe. So I got to talk with her a little bit there throughout the day. And I don't know. It was neat hearing the perspective because I don't know fuck all about photography.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yep, I finally just give up on taking off-road pictures because you never get that depth and perspective. And I was like, that's why I love seeing you professionals like, and you're into photography, so you'll know what they're talking about.
It's hard to get that.
I love seeing how you guys somehow figure out how to capture that depth. And you're like, holy shit, and you still never get it. But it's better than like me with my cell phone.
Your phone, yeah.
And she's kind of like talking about some of the different ways to capture trees in the foreground and background and stuff like that. And I'm like,
see, I'd have been geeking out and you're just over
and I'm like, oh, that's badass. And you would have been like, but
I'd be like, you need to shoot that with a 300 millimeter. Check that and try that.
The best thing was you just you just talk to. I'm nobody fucking special.
Right.
She had no clue who I was or anything. So we're just standing there bullshitting.
So did you get to talk to William Wallace?
He was busy as fuck.
Oh, was he?
I've never seen a guy like all those media guys. You just expect them to like stand around and snap some photos or stand there. And
he's in the group, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You just like stand there and hold the camera like that. Like people just like, oh, put the camera on a tripod and puts a title on the video.
Should have hooked him up on a t-shirt.
Well, let me get to that.
Okay.
So these guys were running around like fucking spider monkeys all day. And I'm like, dude, that's a whole new appreciation for that. And that's why I'd like to have a couple. We're going to do an episode or two with a couple of them because that blows my fucking mind.
It's not just taking pictures.
Yeah. It's not just standing there snapping pictures. It's all about how it blows my mind. As somebody that can't fucking, I use an iPhone camera. I'm like, that's a good picture.
Yeah. I could see the image.
Let's see what else. So the t-shirts and podcast swag I left at the fucking truck.
Yeah.
And like never had a chance to run and go grab them. Oh, because I was like, I'm gonna throw some fucking t-shirts out or give some stickers away or something, but I fucked that up. I didn't know what to expect, and this fucking thing just went, and the next thing you know, you're like, I am dead, and it is 7:00. Like fucking.
Well, yeah, you're only there for a day.
Yeah,
and you guys like pieced out.
Yep.
As soon as
so that wasn't playing with that. That went to shit. That was also the plan with lunch. That went to shit.
Next time.
But geek moment. Are you ready for this?
Yes, I'm ready. Is this the TC moment?
Yes. Okay. So Timmy Cameron and myself. He has no fucking clue who I am.
Right.
I know a lot about him.
Yeah.
Because, you grow up and it's fucking Tim Cameron. Like, who doesn't, like, idolize
But it's
Tim
Ian
Cameron
from the Total Offroad Podcast. Like, why don't you know who the fuck I am?
No. Yeah. I would like to be like that, but, like, let's be real here.
Well, if we interview every one of them, we probably could be.
I don't doubt that he would stand there and talk to me like a normal person.
Yeah.
I'm like geeked out. I'm like fangirl. I'm like, I was standing next to him while he was looking at this third hill, and I'm like, I kind of want to be like, hey, Timmy, like, what do you think about that? Like, how would you do that? But I was like scared to talk to him.
Yeah.
I was being a bitch.
Yeah, too much.
Oh, that's when you should. I'm like, I could touch him right now if I wanted to.
That's when you should have been like, I'm just as famous as this guy.
Yeah. Hold on. His driver like fucking fire suit said Tim Cameron ran like racing.com on his leg. I don't have my name as a website.
Oh,
that's when you know what you're. You could like a domain name's like $10, but like you
get a full running website for $300.
People go to his website though.
Probably, maybe. You don't know that.
I've gone to his website.
Okay, well, then you are the one person.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was just geeked out that he was there, and I was like, I could reach out and touch him. Like I've seen him. The first time I think I saw him was at Off-Road Expo. I'm like, oh my God, that's Tim Cameron, like 35 feet away. Like, oh my God. I could touch his buggy.
I could touch his buggy. So speaking of buggy,
I'm just looking
at Hill Rod here a minute ago, and where did Tim Cameron place on that?
His UTV, I think he got a DNF on the second hill. He won the bouncer thing.
He did win the bouncer thing.
But his second hill run, he got a DNF because he hit a stump, bent the shit out of a radius arm, and flipped over.
Oh, dang.
So, yeah, darn, boo-hoo, right?
Yeah.
But who comes into action? Mr. Senior Recovery guy over here, right?
Senior Recovery guy.
Did you see the vest and the headset?
The SRG?
Pretty much a professional at this point.
Ian, SRG.
Yes. So I'm bombing up the hill because now, my God, Tim Cameron's like on his side. Like, this is memorable. This is going to make the highlight reel. Like, oh my God, Tim Cameron needs help getting out of his buggy. Like, don't be still by beating heart. I'll get him. You were in so many videos this weekend. Was I really? You think
Probably.
So?
I mean, if you're the recovery guy, there's gonna be a lot of recovery.
I look pretty good, I think. So
except for not one piece of Total Offroad Podcast apparel.
I was outlawed. I had an Outlaw shirt on.
Brand ambassador I've ever hired.
I was all about the Outlaw this weekend.
It's a good thing you paid to have this spot,
right? I had my Outlaw shirt on. I had my Outlaw vest on.
Oh man,
I was Outlaw.
I'm
gonna get a shirt with my name on it, though.
You were endorsing the event you were at.
Cross branding. So we bomb up the hill to Timmy's buggy. There's a little exhaust fire, no big deal. It goes out. This guy comes, of course, he's used to being on his roof.
Yeah.
He comes popping out of this buggy, and I was mind blown. So there we are standing on this hill. It was like a peaceful serenity now kind of a moment.
You
but
look
like,
down at him.
There's like 10 of us. Yeah, he's a short little guy. But yeah, there's like 10 of us standing around this razor. He comes popping out of this thing and it was like, "You're good?" And he's like, "Oh yeah. Sure." And then like full on, like, I want to say NASCAR analyzes what the fuck just happened. And the funny thing was, I've been recovering rigs all day on this hill. Yeah. This was very close to the end, the second run for the UTV. So it was pretty close to the end. But it's funny the reaction that people have when their shit's upside down and they're crawling like out of their buggy that either is or isn't on fire and is upside down. Yeah. Should have hit it harder. Okay, no, I'm going to say that you're upside down because you might have hit that a little hard. There's like, I should have hit it harder. Well, I didn't fucking work. No, sir. No, you are correct. One of them. This is great. I wish you would got a recording of all these. Oh, dude, it was magical because I've never like laid my shit over on a hill in front of like a film crew. But like everybody's like, one guy, it wasn't even his fucking buggy. And they're like, "Do you just want to leave it here?" Because we got it rolled over and it's like out of the way, but it's like broke the shock shaft and all that. It's all fucked. And they're like, "Oh, you're going to need an excavator or something to get this out of here. Can we leave it here?" And he's like, "I don't know. It's not mine." And I'm like, "Bro, you just talk on somebody else's. How do I get your job? You know, like I can do that." It's just so funny hearing. But
can you do it consistently?
Yes. Okay. I'm pretty good at fucking shit up. Okay. It was just funny hearing all these different reactions. One guy was excited because he rolled his buggy over and it didn't fuck up. He's got some like logo on his hood. It didn't fuck up the logo on his hood. God. He's like, "Oh no, it's some like, you know, it's like girl." I don't remember what it looked like. But it's like, "Oh nope, the girls on the hood are all right." That's your first thought? I'm like, "Bro, you just scratched the paint on this thing. Like the hood's fucked on. It's a nice hood too. But like, nope, the girl hood logo thing is fine." Oh, it's just funny. So Tim Cameron pops out of his little razor and he goes full NASCAR on this thing. Like if I'd had a fucking microphone, we could have had a NASCAR interview minus the sponsors right there on the top of the hill. Really? Like, "Well, see, down old Jimmy done put more wedge in the back in there." What he said, he's like going on. He's like, "I felt something broke. Something had to break." So he's like climbing all over this hill, like looking at the back of his buggy. And he's like, "Yep, bent radius arm." And I'm like, "Bro, I ain't even got up to the hill yet. Like, and you're already out. Like, know what broke?" He's like, I come off that ledge. I was pushed a little bit coming into the corner with that ledge there. And then he said, "I felt like I hit something, broke something, and just pirouetted through the air." And then one of the guys up top was like, "Yeah, it looked like you hit that stump. There's a little stump sticking up." Well, that makes sense because I felt it hit something or break something and then just spun in the air. And I'm like, how in the hell, like, first of all, how do you know which way's up or down right now? Because you just done flipped around a couple times. Rolled down a hill. And now you want to full on analyze, like, well, I was a little pushed a little in the front end coming off of this corner and then I hit this and bent this. But dude, you'd have thought he was just fucking, you know, sitting around a barbecue or something. Not like, here's what happened. Yeah, he wasn't like hyped up on adrenaline or nothing. He was so calm and just like, it was so impressive
just
to me.
Another day in the park.
How analyzing of the situation he was. And that just shows Tim Cameron's got all the money. Well, yeah, A, he's got all the money because he's won all the money. Yeah. B, dude builds his own shit and everything. Like, what more could you ask for? It's not like he's out there just writing checks and buying shit or whatever. About it. And then the funny thing was, me being me, all these other guys were entertaining getting out of these buggies, and he's over there analyzing how to not do that again. And I'm like, dude, no wonder you're the fucking as good as you are. Right. Well, I felt something broke. You know, I was pushed a little bit coming. I'm like, dude, it was cool. Yeah. So then here's the geek moment. We're standing there and he gets out and sets his safety glasses and his helmet off to the side on this hill. And then he gets back in they hold, I think that we rolled it over and then held it with the winch so he could get back in and kind of turn it and drive down the hill. And he was getting ready to go down this hill. And I was like, well, he's not going to want to get out of this thing to get his helmet. So I was like, "You want your helmet?" So he's like, yeah. So I reached over and I grabbed Tim Cameron's safety glasses and his helmet. Oh man. And I handed him his glasses. And he put his glasses on, and then I held his helmet for him, and then I gave him his helmet. Man. And he said, "Thank you, I appreciate it." And I said, "Oh, no problem." And he's like, no, I really appreciate it. I'm like, oh. Like,
and Ian will never wash those hands again,
bro. Like, I touched Tim Cameron's helmet and safety glasses. I think I'm pretty much a better off-road driver because of it. But like, what a geek moment for somebody like me that's like some dough dick that builds shit in a garage. Yep. And then like just standing next to the guy is impressive. And I'm like, now here I'm handing you a helmet. You know what it cost me to do that? $20.
I think fuel was more than that.
Fuel. $20 to get in the door.
See, I think it costs more than that.
And it cost me but the thing is, you can volunteer at these events to recover stuff. Like they're all the time. They're like, if you know what you're doing, you could come volunteer and you could be the guy handing Tim Cameron his fucking helmet. Nice. So think of the people that you don't
need a vest.
They'll give you the vest. You don't need a radio. I was like the only recovery guy with a radio, except for the two at the top. But I was a little overdressed in that regard. To be honest, it was annoying to run up this hill with a fucking headset because then
that's why you were always the last one up there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know, and I'm just really fat and out of shape. But
yeah. But still,
it was more the up. That was the hard part.
But a little earbud would have been better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then the worst part was their guys are talking. So then you'd have to pull like one headphone off and the official doesn't take his headphone off. So, what do you do?
Yeah.
But I mean, you can volunteer at any race. Go volunteer to recover and you could hand Tim Cameron his helmet, which for me, highlight fangirl moment.
That's it. That was your weekend. That was your day.
Maybe one time I'll actually introduce myself to him. But the fucked up thing is the dude's sitting there in his Razor buggy that costs a fuck ton of money. The brand new, I think this is one of the first races for this thing. Tires, the radius arm's fucked. Mm-hmm. So the tire's fucked. And he's literally sitting there after we rolled his shit back over, thanks me for handing him his helmet twice. And then just starts like thanking people and saying he appreciates people helping him on the hill. Like, not, oh, my shit's fucked, I'm going to go pout. Or no, I'm pissed. Or making jokes and like, oh, it's funny. But literally his first thing is,
all right,
thank
you.
Was that? Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys. And I'm like, class act. Like, true class act. And I touched his helmet, so you're welcome, Tim.
Sheila,
Shanae?
Shelby.
Shanae, that's a good nickname.
Shelby, we're going to need you to get a hold of Timmy Cameron and see if you can get him on here so Ian can just straight up just fall out of his chair.
I wouldn't even say anything.
Just sit there the whole time.
I wanted to ask him so bad. We were standing there. He was standing there talking to a couple different drivers, and he's very sociable. He's not like an asshole. Like, I probably would be if I was as famous as he, but he's very sociable guy. Stand there and they're talking about the hill and stuff. And I didn't really want to bother him to a cent, but I guarantee if I would have been like, yeah, what do you think? He would just stood there and talked to me. Mm-hmm. I'm just too much of a chicken shit to talk to him because I'm like, oh my God, it's Tim Cameron.
Right. Cause you've been watching all these years.
All for years. I mean, years on this. And now I'm like handing the guy his helmet and that's like highlight of the weekend.
He's just your average everyday guy.
Dude,
just
like
you and I.
Super nice guy. Yep. He stands there, talks, wipes his, all the same shit we do. But yeah, it's just cool for me that
it was all in your head.
You can get that. Oh yeah. Cause I could have looked like, what do you think? Well, what do you think? I'm like, well, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
One thing that was cool for me to hear, cause Jake was at the top of the hill doing recovery from the top. Mm-hmm. So he had a little different perspective. And he's like, what was cool was the guys would get to walk the hill and they would come up to him and be like, where, are the guys going left or right here? Because he stood up there and watched everybody run that side of the hill once. Mm-hmm. They have not. So now he's like, it was so cool. These guys who you like know and idolize to a point are like, how would you go up the hill? Mm-hmm. What have you seen that works? Mm-hmm. What have you seen that doesn't work? And he's like, oh, it was so cool.
And this was Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I could be fucking losing my shit if somebody I knew come out. Like, I follow you on, like, if you accept my friend request on Facebook, I'm excited, let alone talk to me kind of a thing.
Right.
And then like, opinion. Now you give a fuck to ask my 1 cent on how you should go. Like, let me tell you how to drive your buggy there, Mr. fucking whoever, you know, like, dude, it was cool. So that's what I mean. Like, I don't know. It's cool. I shouldn't be a fangirl, but I am.
It's okay. We like it.
So
it sounds like it was an awesome day.
It was. Weather was great. It was supposed to rain about 10 o'clock. It did not. Nice. A couple sprinkles here and there, but nothing like you didn't even notice. Just somebody could have spit. Shelby could have spit on me and it would have been more
probably did
fluid. Maybe that's what it was. He was peeing on me probably.
Yeah.
It was a very nice event. It was a very fluid, well-run event, and it was cool to see it from a backside perspective so you could really appreciate the behind-the-scenes stuff.
I feel like the name of the episode should have hit it harder.
I touched his helmet.
I touched his helmet.
That's a highlight. That's like the top of the list.
We'll discuss it and figure out which one's going to be.
We'll rock, paper, scissors it out. The only thing I've got left on that is their next event is at Hooter Holler, which is a brand new park apparently.
Okay,
which is why I've never heard of it.
That was supposed to be like one of the first races of the season?
This one got rescheduled.
Yeah,
yep. And it is. I think he said it was like 60 miles southwest of Flat Nasty, so it's only like another hour.
Yeah,
for us. It's actually an hour closer for a lot of guys. There were guys driving from like fucking North Carolina for this.
Yeah.
Justin Wills, the guy that bought Shelby's Voodoo Child buggy, drove from well, it completed 2 hills at an Outlaw event for the first time ever.
Really?
And he admitted over the intercom that it was because he's a shitty driver. So, I mean, it's not like he doesn't.
Shelby admitted that?
It's not like he doesn't own it, but like, I fucking high five. I don't remember what her name was. It was one of the store. I think it's Storts. I think it's Storts. It's Kelsey, maybe. She fucking cleared this ledge. We talked about it earlier. Cleared this fucking ledge in a UTV buggy. They brought her up there and we're talking to her. And then like she's walking by and I was high fiving her and I high fived her and I said, that was fucking impressive.
Yeah.
And like, I probably shouldn't have cussed at this like 13-year-old girl, but I was like, genuinely gave her the like, I'm going to look you in the eyes and say, that was fucking impressive. Why? Because my chicken shit ass probably would have lifted a little bit.
Right.
Like,
not her.
No, hell no.
Full send.
She cleared that fucker better than 3/4 of the field today.
She didn't get out of her side by side and look at you and be like, should have hit it harder.
No, she floated that motherfucker across there like a champion. And I was like, I genuinely like hope she realized that I was like, that was fucking impressive.
She's
like,
looking at you like, who the fuck's this old
who's
guy?
this fucking, he's got a radio. He's important. I got a high five from a guy with a radio and a vest.
Great.
But yeah, I mean, it's just shit like that. Legit, I don't know. It's awesome. Cool. So Hooter Holler, August 8th. We can't go because we're going to be at RC Fest. Which it's also RC Fest, if you're around here, Tolono, Illinois, Central Illinois, all for charity. Check it out. Buy a t-shirt. Come. The door prizes and raffles
are website?
Epic. Yep. T-shirts and DVDs pre-sales are all on the website. Buy them. I think there's only a couple days left until they close the pre-sale. I think they're going to stay open so you can buy them. You just won't get it before the event.
Oh, okay.
That's the like deadline. I don't think he's going to stop selling them. So check that out. That's where we'll be. But the Mid-America Finals is in Labor Day weekend in, I think it's Jay, Oklahoma. Supposed to be a couple bars, pool, lodging, bars. Epic
Sounds
park.
good.
Supposed to be an epic park. So
that's all in the park?
That's all at the park.
Holy shit. There's bars at the park?
Bars.
Multiple.
The word free beer was used more than 3 times.
That's interesting.
I believe they quit doing mixed drinks this year because of COVID. Because they just didn't want to mix the drinks. So it's like, here's your beer. But I believe it's some kind of, it's either part of your park entrance or something that they just free beer.
It's included. Huh. Isn't that something?
I've been told by multiple people it's all the free beer you can drink.
Oh, that's not very much for me. But yeah.
But I'm like,
some people are like,
yeah, they're excited. But like,
that's cool.
Yes. So we're going to go check that out. It's a 3-day thing. I'm pretty sure I'm going to try to go to that. Might try to take a camper.
Oh.
Foreshadowing. But yeah, that's going to be pretty dope. And that's all we got for that.
Okay. Here to shift this into last call.
Yep.
Today on Last Call, we are drinking a Four Hands Brewing cast iron oatmeal brown.
That was super nice because I was literally had my mouth open to say, what are we drinking? And then you were like, today. And I'm like,
nope.
All right, then. I was like, well, that was clean, though.
We're just going to do it nice and easy. 5.5% alcohol by volume.
5.5.
And it's a brown, so it doesn't have a IBU. How is it?
It sucks.
It's the worst.
It's not good.
That's really?
Yeah. Which is depressing because it's Four Hands Brewing. So.
So you want me to go back and get a...
Can we take 2 and just pick a different beer? Tell me your opinion.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't either. I just have always, I feel like we've discussed this before where I was like, I really just want to be like, it's
always good.
This is fucking terrible.
Well, it's always beer. So like, how could it be bad?
Yeah. But then people just think we're idiots and like, oh, this is good.
They think everything's good.
Everything's good.
I mean, everything has its place.
There was one beer that I think we tried. I don't remember what it was. And it was just like, yeah, I'm done with that. I don't even want to drink the rest of this.
You just down it like a latte.
Yeah. I'm going I'm going to shotgun this. I'm going home. No, I actually think that's pretty good. That's a couple that aren't. That's a nice drinking beer, though.
No, yeah, I love brown ales. Brown ales are one of my favorites. This one here looks like it's got just like it's a little hazy.
Why do you like a brown ale?
Because it's like somewhat like a stout, but it's not heavy. So it has that malty flavor.
It has the flavor, but it doesn't have that like. You could drink 3 or 4 of these.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 5.5. Shit. Yeah. Drink them. You could drink these like a Bud Light.
The problem is with most stouts. They're usually high as fuck, especially when you start talking about the barrel aged stuff. They're usually real high, but you don't get drunk on it. I mean, you will because it's high, but you'll get full before you get wasted. So this, you could get wasted on this before you get full. Oh yeah, you know what I mean?
And that's the thing. Like, I don't know. A lot of people like their American lagers and stuff like that. They just drink like our Busch, Bud Light, Miller Lite, whatever.
Yep.
You drink that and it's a beer and it's good. But this is like,
it has flavor.
It's almost like it has a caramel.
Yeah, it's got a little caramely note to it.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, and that's what like for me is like it's kind of sweeter. It's a little bit, it's just brown ales just have that, and they're always smooth. Brown ales are always seem to be nice and smooth. But this has got good flavor. I like this one a lot. I'll be looking for some more of this.
Yeah, it's good beer. Four Hands Brewing Co. I mean, they do good work.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like,
that's why I was surprised. You're like, it sucks. I'm like, really? Like, that sucks.
I did it so straight face, too.
I was like, I'm kind of worried now. Like, that sucks.
It made your first sip just that much better.
Yeah, because I drank it. I'm like,
this doesn't suck, you asshole. You dick. This is actually very tasty. Well, I'm just fucking with you.
Go fuck yourself. Fuck you, man. So anyway. What you got for last call? You got anything at all written down?
No.
Okay.
I got a fucking notebook in the main content about Outlaw Offroad Series, but I got not fuck
anywhere else.
Last call.
Yeah. What is your plan this week for the Bugay?
Are you gonna hold me? Are you gonna like check
what do you think you want to do?
If I just rattle stuff off? All right, good. This is my
what would you like to get done?
Bullshit assessment. I really like that phrase because that means like, dude, I'm fucking serious.
But I'm not really.
If you know what movie that's from, we're pretty much best friends.
Oh, one side tangent before we start on that. Somebody posted. The hell was it? I feel like it was Corn Fed. I feel like it was Lincoln posted earlier. On Facebook, and it was something about green. Sucks. I can't think of what it was now. This was gonna be really good, and now it's gone. So much for that. It was in his corn-fed page. Now I gotta go find it so I can see what it was and remember what it was. I can tell you guys about it because I thought it was funny. I was looking for a clip for like 3 hours, on. Like on YouTube and everywhere else, trying to find a movie clip so I could use it, and I never could find it. And it sucked that I couldn't find it. I was very upset. I could find everything. Once I explain this to you, you'll understand it. What are you doing over there?
Last calling.
Last calling? Who you last calling?
I think at last call, you're supposed to be texting your wife, telling her that you're coming home, and then you'll be home in 3 hours when you really tell her 5 minutes. But it's just because we stood in the parking lot and talked to dudes. And by dudes, I mean my friends. It's not random. Well, sometimes they're random dudes that get involved with our truck conversations.
Man, I don't remember what it was earlier. I give up. Either way, somebody posted something online about, it was something about something green. But anyway, Lincoln did post about wanting a new Jeep, but it wasn't that though. It was something else that somebody said something about green, and I was like, I wanted to find the clip from Men in Black, the original Men in Black, when he's sitting there out at that one chick's house, Edgar's wife's house. He's out there at her house, and he's sitting down in the hole, the crater that the UFO made.
Yep.
And he pulls up that little thing, and he like scoops up the dirt, and he's like, please not green, please not green, please not green. Damn.
Damn.
I was trying to find that video clip there. It's not out there. That video clip doesn't exist.
That's because people today cannot appreciate how good that. I watched that movie here. I don't know. It was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Like the first Men in Black, which is odd because you always see the other ones on TV, but you never see the first one.
Right.
Which blows
the first
my
one was
mind.
killer.
They do a lot of that with series stuff, and I don't get it.
Yeah.
But I watched the first one, and I'm like, "Fuck, that's a good movie."
It's
Like,
a good movie.
damn it! Like,
yeah. So they have I was looking on YouTube looking for clips, and they have all the stuff around it. Like they have the clip of him radioing to Zed. Zed, we got a bug. Yeah, they have that clip. They have the entire clip of them pulling up to her house, having the whole conversation in the house, him doing the flashy thing on her, and then them going out right up to the point where he's like down there scooping up. End of clip. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Why did I watch 2 minutes and 45 seconds of this to not get the very last piece?
Now, like ever since then, you've had the like underlying urge to watch Men in Black.
Yes.
You're like, God, I really want to watch that.
Yeah, I want to watch that now. And now I want to find out who it was that said what about the green thing that I wanted to like see what it was. But either way, somebody said something about it and it made me want to post that really badly. And then I couldn't find it. And it just irked my nerves a lot. What you going to do this week?
All right.
That's my side tangent. My last call side tangent.
I'm going to get my oh shit handle mounted. That kit put in. Mm-hmm. I am going to I've got my ducts all cut. The 2 and the defrost ducts are done. Mm-hmm. The 2 and the dash are done, minus being bolted in because they have like an insert that bolts in, and then the top piece like snaps in. Yes. That takes like a fucking engineering degree to get out, and that was like sitting in the house like in your hands, let alone when it's bolted to the dash.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it's a pain in the ass. You got like,
is it 4 clips? So you have to like get all 4 clips?
Yeah.
In? Oh Jesus.
But there's plastic, so you don't want to break it.
Right, yeah.
So, like, it's not a hard concept, but seemingly someone smarter than me figured out that it's easy because I'm stupid. Because
they probably have a tool that goes in from the backside. Yeah. It just releases all 4 clips.
Yep. So it was a motherfucker to get them out. So I've been like, I really want to pop this in, but I'm like, no. Yeah. So I've got to put the little 4 machine screws in to hold the insert and then just snap those in. That'll be done. I've got to get the center console. I need to weld the radio brackets in, but it's all mocked up and done. I got the grommet drilled for the trans shifter. That's in. I got to get my heater. No, the heater's in. That's bolted in.
Did you come up with a solution for your SealZits issues?
Nope.
So
TBD.
Okay.
Nobody reached out to me in podcast land. All 4 of our listeners didn't have
Damn it, you 4.
Yep. So,
help this guy out.
I know. My platform of assistance is not helping. So thanks, folks. So no, I'm still on I don't know what to do. I mean, eventually, maybe you just come up with nothing and that's what you just got to buy them.
Yeah.
But if
I
don't need them, so I'm going to be like, well, let me see if something else comes up. If nothing else comes up in a couple months, I'll just buy them.
Right.
But,
you still need to tear everything back out and paint and re-raptor everything you just built?
Yep.
Okay. So once you get everything mocked and finished on the interior, you'll have to pull it back apart.
Yep.
The console, the seats back out.
The console comes out, which is nice. Right. I have to pull the seat. The seats right now, I've just been using a brilliant idea I found on the internet of instead of bolting your seats in 437 different times, just use a PTO style quick pin and you can pin your seats in and then you just pull 4 pins and pull your seat out.
Yeah.
So those are just pinned in, but yeah, those got to come out. The belt tabs are all welded on. I've actually bolted I didn't bolt them.
You didn't tack those in?
No, they're welded. I see what you did there.
Are you going to?
I went through and bolted all my belts in like one by one and adjusted the belts. So they're all like set and everything.
So you just unbolt them and then
I think they're unbolted now because I think I took the seats out again to weld something. But yeah, so those are all. I just need to paint the tabs and then bolt them in.
Are you going to, once you put your tube caps on your belt bar, are you going to?
I got to put my flip off gussets in.
Your flip off? I didn't see those.
I got some middle finger flip off gussets from Off-Road Anonymous.
From where? Or to go where?
On that harness bar there.
Oh, in the back?
Yeah.
So you'll never see them?
No.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It's like you'll see them through the window if you specifically look in the window and look at them.
So are you going to take your time and mask off the entire interior, like in the final McFinals, and you have the bar painted black and everything like that, everything's all done, and those are welded into place, are you going to mask everything off and paint the two flip-off brackets Raptor and orange?
I'm not going to paint them orange. I'm just going to use like an orange Sharpie for the eyes.
Oh, okay.
I think.
For the eyes?
Yeah, it's got little eyes. Like it's laser cut into like a little smiley head with two little like middle fingers. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Okay.
It's OG nod to pirate stuff, I think.
Oh, it's like
it's the pirate flip off little guy.
Yeah. Well, not pirate, but like forum in general.
Yeah. The forum, because I guess it wasn't just on pirate. This is like flip off 2. I think it was like flip off 2, I believe was the
colons flip off 2
the code for it.
If you guys don't know what that is,
go fuck yourself. Fucking noobs to the internet.
My favorite was like hides behind couch.
Yeah. Twalk was a good one. I use that word in normal English. Like that's in a fucking emoji. And most people that know are like, and then they get whacked with a stick. And it's like, yeah, you knew what it meant. So you knew it was coming, bud.
Banhammer.
Yeah. Banhammer. Get the fuck out of here. So there's that. What else do I need to do? Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. I got a whole pile of shit, like little tiny things that came in that I need to put on. I think I'm just about to the point after I weld this radio mount that I am done fabbing stuff inside the cab so I can bedliner things with Raptor and then be done. What did you just had an epiphany?
I did just have an epiphany. We're halfway through last call.
Yeah.
Complete off-road. Oh. Your source for all things off-road. Call Chris Willie.
You know what's fucked up about that?
Okay.
We completely forgot that Last Call is sponsored by Complete Off-Road.
Yeah.
And all of your off-road accessories. Insert phone number here.
553335533553.
That's actually pretty accurate. It's a bunch of 5 and 3. But what's funny about that?
7, I think, in there maybe.
This week.
You would think I would know it because he's called me so many times from it. It's 563 something.
I probably have it. This is the first time I bought something from them. And it was this week, and I totally forgot about it.
Really?
Like that's what's fucked up is I didn't not just forget about them. I ordered stuff from them and then forgot about them.
563-583-5363.
Ding.
Hopefully that's not his cell phone number.
I hope it is. He would answer it. That's the best part about it.
His cell phone number's up here. Anyway, Complete Off-Road. They're bringing you the Last Call. And the reason that I had that epiphany is because you were talking about what you're going to do to yours. And I was like, I really didn't give a much about Loki and what's been going on with Loki. And that's what made me think of that. And I was like, oh no.
Oh shit.
Yeah. We're going to lose our sponsorship. Oh, you sound real upset.
Well, so here's where I'm at with that. Not that they're not a great partner and awesome people to deal with and blah, blah, blah. He just won't give me free race lines.
Oh, that's the problem?
Yeah. Hold on.
You know what, though? He probably preemptively knew that you were going to forget to announce it.
Oh, well, that's because he's not stupid. Like, he's smarter than we are. If Crawler Off-Road, if Crawler Off-Road sold race lines.
You think you could get a free set out of Rick?
I feel like Rick would give me a free set of race lines. But here's the thing.
I feel like he would try, at least at cost.
Yeah, he can't, though.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't sell race lines.
Oh. Well, wait, does Chris sell race lines?
Yeah.
Oh, they do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, see, I already have a set, so I haven't been looking.
Oh, see, but I don't have a set either. But why shouldn't you?
I should.
Do you have a brand new set of them?
They're close, but no.
They're not brand new. They're not from Complete Off-Road, brand new.
They're not from Complete Off-Road.
And they're not free 99.
They certainly were not that.
That's what I'm saying. If you have the option, you should do it. You know what I mean? That's the good human faith and stuff that they talk about. Just saying, help thy neighbor.
So here's what's going on.
Hook a brother up.
Here's what's going on.
You're going to give them the backstory.
Where did I interrupt you at on your progress? So next week go.
I got a bunch of shit. I got a bunch of stuff.
I had my mask the whole time.
Huh? Well,
ain't that a bitch? Anyway, so I've been trying to order parts. Chris is in the works with Yukon. Yep. So I think we're going to get some Yukon gears for it. And so that part, so we're going to get that all squared away. That's not an issue, okay? The issue becomes this right here. Did you find a new way to use your bottle opener?
I think so. It's either very shitty manufacturing or they designed it
to get. Okay. Anyway, so the thing of it is that I need rear leaf rings. And so Chris is like, dude, I'll get you a good deal on those. Cool.
Why is he getting you all the good deal? Free or a good deal?
Just a good deal.
Okay. Well, I'm not looking for a good deal.
Just, like matched internet pricing or better.
No. See, that's not what I'm looking for from my race lines.
Like they advertise, Yeah. So anyway, here's the deal. He gets me the good price on finds the prices on the springs. They're legit. I'm like, cool. Yeah, that's perfect. I'll take them. And then he calls me back. He's like, so here's the issue. So what's that? He's like, XJ springs in the size that you want are on back order everywhere because apparently the spring manufacturers have not been doing their thing because of the COVIDs. Yeah. So I may not be getting leaf springs. I may just be on hold because I can't get leaf springs.
You know what you can get?
Bastard packs?
Link bars.
Oh, go.
I'm just saying. I'm just making a statement. Did I say you needed to buy them? No.
But you said I could get them.
I just said they're available.
Yeah, I bet Rad Flows are too.
They are. I'm just saying.
How convenient.
I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just simply stating
the
facts.
The funny thing is, if I ordered link bars today and they showed up midweek.
Yep.
And I ordered Rad Flows and they showed up midweek with coils and everything ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
It would still take longer to get all that put in than it would just to put new leaf springs in it.
Yeah,
after they come off
back. Fun in using logic. I mean, drink up and let's have this conversation, bud. Yeah, see, I'm not looking for a good deal or great pricing or
just free.
I'm not even looking for friendly service. You can call me an asshole on the phone when I call him. You're like, "What's up, bitch?" I don't need "Hey, how are you?" I don't need good service.
No, I just need free.
Seemingly, that's the only thing he cannot offer. Good service, answers the phone nicely. Good pricing on. I got that deraily. I don't know however you
whatever the hell is
say it. I got that badass. That thing's fucking beastly. Mm-hmm. Makes my radiator look like a bitch, and it's a Griffin radiator. All the good things you want in a business, check mark. But just
free, just can't get you free parts.
I know. No. He could probably give me free parts. I don't need free parts. I need free race lines. I'm very specific here.
Man,
I even gave him a part number.
Oh man, you did all the legwork too.
I did the work for him. All he's got to do is put it in the computer and hit the button.
Right.
Jeez, I pretty much did his job for him.
It's the worst.
One thing free. That's. I don't think I'm asking for too much.
One small set of bead locks.
Keep your good service. Keep your awesome internet sales. Keep your everything. Mm-hmm. Just give me free.
That's it.
I don't think I'm asking for too much, but. If you like complete off-road, go get your crap from Chris. And I say crap because they literally sell so much stuff. We were talking about beadlock wheels, and he was going off of all the beadlock wheels he could get. And I'm like,
but you want race lines.
I don't. Well, I mean, you got to.
He's like, I can get you these for free. 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 But I can't get you race lines. And you're like, you know what? I'm over this guy.
I hung up on him. But. What's the code? TOP5? Top
TOP5. Yep.
5% off. Call him up, though. Call him personally. Tell him you looked at the... I actually talked to him. He said he was dealing with somebody or quoting something for somebody. I wasn't really paying attention. Mm-hmm. But he said he was doing something for somebody that listened to the podcast. I'm like, awesome. Yeah. So I'm telling you, he got me that cooler. I think I called him Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And I said, this is what I know. We talked in our group text the other day about it.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea really what I needed because the internet's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, you guys are going on and on. I was like, I'm trying to work. What are you guys doing?
Stop interrupting me.
No, and then I just opened up like, at least you guys chatting.
Because I'm running ported and flowed hydro boost, high flow CBR pump, all this shit and steering. So I'm like, do I need holy mother of God cooler?
Probably.
So he's like, well, I got this chart that talks about flow and blah, blah, blah at work. I'll let you know. He went farther than that. He talked to PSC directly. He called them and had a conversation with them.
Because he probably has a rep.
Yeah. He's like, I called PSC and talked to them and told them what you were running and all this. And he's like, this is what they recommended. And I'm like, done.
Well, I guess just send it to me then.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was like. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just...
That's the cool thing about Chris is that he runs the front office during the day, the showroom and sales and all that stuff up front. And then in the afternoon, if there's not much going on, he'll go back in the back and help those guys work on wrench on stuff and things like that.
Do you want to know what he said he was doing that afternoon?
Wrenching on something?
Working on a Samurai. It's like, you dick. Like, what a dream job. I'm going to sell some off-road parts to some cool people like myself.
Yeah.
And then, I'm going to go like spin wrenches on a Sammy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn it.
Doesn't sound like a bad life. He gave up a pretty good like other job before this one. And he just said that he wanted something a little more, cool and relaxed.
I'm trying to get hired on there.
Yeah. I think I heard something about that. So anyway.
Did you hear my application was accepted?
No.
Oh, I didn't know if that's what you heard. I submitted one.
Did you?
Nonchalant verbally, yeah.
Verbally, yeah. Verbally, I like the job.
If he would come back and be like, yeah, I talked to Rich and here's the job. Fucking A. Well, you know what I mean? I could probably steal some race lines at that point. I'm not getting hired.
You could just push the broom around for a couple days.
If that's what it takes to get some race lines, I'll bring my own broom. Like, I won't even wear your push broom out.
What if you take a week off of work here?
And
like
go
a
work
paid
there?
Vacation, go up there and work for a week, and then they give you a
I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. But would you just be full on like shop bitch for a week?
Oh, yeah.
To get free race lines?
Oh, yeah.
There you go, Chris.
I mean, you think I'm joking, but I swear to God, I would go work. I would do more than just push the broom. I'd dump your garbage cans and everything and do like legit. Well, I'll answer the phone.
Seemingly, I would think that they could get $1,500 out of you in a week.
I mean,
worth of labor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I'll work for it. I'm going to ask for a handout, but it doesn't mean I like taking a handout. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to poke the bear.
I'll work for it. I just don't want to pay for it.
Yeah. I want to poke them and like for your race lines. And then when they smack your hand away, you're like, okay, clearly that's not going to work. So moving on. Now, what do I have? Like, what's the next step?
Yeah. Get hired on.
Hey, listen, here's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
I bitched about being important, getting a job and having a radio.
And
I got a job. And I got a radio. And we've already seen pictures and video that I look important as fuck running up this hill. Now, my new mission with Outlaw is to get a shirt with my name on it. So I don't know what I was told. It was very hard to get, but I was not told that it was impossible to get.
Right.
So there's something I can do to get.
So you're like, what are the odds of me getting a shirt? And Shelby's like, 1 in a million. You're like, so you're saying there's a chance.
So I don't know. I got to butter Kevin up or something to try to get, I don't know what I need to like work out my contract, I guess is what I'm saying. I need to make them think that they want me, like, God, this guy's coming back again. Shit. Let's change the date on him and we just won't tell him.
Oh man. So anyway, what I was saying there about
Did you text Chris and tell him that I'm coming to work for him?
I didn't.
Oh, I thought that's what you were doing.
It's Sunday. Give him a day of rest.
Well, I'll show up Monday at 6.
I talked to him yesterday morning. He was out there working, doing yard work with the wife. So what I was going to say about Chris, the nice thing about Chris is that he's got some of that time in the morning to do stuff like that. So, and he's got all these reps that he knows. So like, if you're looking for something like that and you don't know which part you need or whatever, you call Chris up, you say, hey, here's what I got going on. I need this and this, blah, blah, blah. What can you do for me? Total Off-Road Podcast sent me. Well, that right there gets you the extra goods.
You'll get the sticker.
Because right off the bat, you guys got common ground. You both like off-road. You both like Total Off-Road Podcast.
Well, the thing I liked with that cooler is like I could spend my time pecking around on the internet to try to figure out what cooler this guy thought he was running and shit. And like, he did legwork. I don't fucking know. I don't really care. It was like, I don't even remember how much it was. It was like $150, $175, something like that. Shipped. And it literally, I think I ordered it like Thursday and it showed up Saturday.
Right.
And I was at home, but it was here waiting for me when I got, the wife brought it inside, which is awesome. But I'm like, what? You can't ask for better service. The guy calls up PSC and says, like, has a legitimate informed conversation. Isn't just like, sell the expensive one.
Yeah.
Because when he's like, oh, PSC recommended this one, I'm like, oh, fuck, this thing's like a fucking $300 cooler. Like, I don't need a refrigerator ice box set up. Like, no, it was like $175 or something like that. A couple of, under $200. And this thing
come with those brackets?
Yeah. Yeah. The fan was bolted to that. And
it came with a fan?
Yeah, it's got a big fucking like.
I saw the fan. I didn't realize it came with it.
It's got that big ass fan that came with it. It's a dual row, like 8 AN fitting. It doesn't have the like piece of shit hose bar fittings on it.
Is that a pusher fan?
Both. You can just flip the wires so you can do a push or pull. But it's like badass thing. And I'm like, oh, they're going to recommend some $800 cooler.
Yeah.
Nope. So it's not like he's trying to sell you shit that you don't need. It was kind of nice. And I just like, tell me what I need and then I'll just give you a credit card number.
Right.
And it was super nice.
Hell yeah. So we're working on getting springs for low key and the gears and stuff. And then I got to get gears installed. And that's about, I don't know. I got to get that done. I got to figure out my 3-link setup and then links. I didn't call. I messaged Jacob at Offroad Anonymous. We talked about things.
I believe I was like, I think I'm waiting on an order for him, but I got that like Thursday.
Yeah,
I placed 3 orders with him in like 2 weeks. And I feel so fucking stupid because every time I'm like,
oh, damn.
If I just bought one of everything on the freaking website, I would have saved like $8 in shipping. But every time I buy something, he'll either, because he does a weekly 20% off sale.
Okay.
On a certain product group.
Okay.
So like one week I was like, man, I need some tabs.
So did we miss the tab one?
I got it on the tab one.
You got it on the tab. But I mean, like,
Podcast World, I think, missed it.
Oh, man. So we need to get with Jacob and see what the next week's going to be so we can always pull that
Go to his website and sign up for the email notifications, and he sends you an email. I think comes out on Sundays.
Did you put it on the Total Offroad Podcast email?
No.
Well, that makes you a dick.
Not for me, it doesn't.
Well, yeah, but it is for me. Like, you
Sorry about you.
You could have just put one email in and both of us could have got it, but no.
I don't check our podcast email very often.
I do. It always comes up on my Google.
So I ordered some tabs and was like, ooh, they're on sale. And then I needed something else. And I'm like, ooh, that's on sale this week. And then I'm like, well, fuck, I'm on here. I might as well buy some more shit. So I think I've ordered 2 or 3 different times in like a week or 2. It's like painfully awesome. But it shows up in like 2 days. So I'm like, yay, that's great.
It's Christmas.
Barnes and Rough Stuff are still trying to get my order out.
We are working together on a few things. He's going to build me, the grinder holders?
Yep.
We're going to have some custom ones made for my buffers.
Your big polishers. Yep.
And so I'm working on that. And then the other thing was trying to figure out if I can use his upper link mount, the tower.
Yep.
Or if I would end up just cutting it to pieces in the process. So we had that discussion for a couple hours, sending pictures and measurements and all this stuff. And he's like, let me work on something. I'm like, okay. So that's the coolest thing about him. Hit him up on Messenger on Instagram, dude. He's on it. Like,
he gives you stickers.
He doesn't know who the hell I'm in. I'm just some doedick guy messaging him about building me something. You know what I mean? And the prices are pretty reasonable.
The prices are great. That's what pisses me off about it.
We discussed a custom truss for that setup.
Do it. And
the price was like legit.
Well, their tabs are like, I don't know what a normal fucking tab should cost. Like, why does this tab cost $8?
He was talking about building me. He's like, oh, you want a new truss? He's like, I'll tell you what. He's like, just send me these measurements. I sent him the measurements. He goes, I'll make you a truss for the whole thing. He's like, you just cut everything off that axle and I'll make you a whole new truss with the lower axle bracket tabs and the coil spring buckets, like all of it.
So
end to end.
Everything.
Set up for 3-link, ready to roll. Just slap it on that Dana 44 and let her rip. And he's like, I can do all that stuff for you, whatever, and have that done. And he gave me a price. And I was like, I don't know what it was now, but either way, whatever it was like half of what an Artec truss would be. I was like, damn. Okay, that's a really good deal, but I don't feel like cutting all this shit off this axle. And he's like, I don't blame you for that. I was like, yeah. I was like, if I had a spare housing laying around, I went and measured the one that I have in the back that is a spare F250 housing. It's an inch wider. Yeah, well, my chromos won't fit.
Oh, that.
Yeah, it does make a problem.
I'm like, so?
So?
Oh, then there's that.
Yeah, new chromos, new steering linkages.
We can make it work.
Yeah.
Just costs more money.
That's just, no, not this round. We'll go to 60 if we're going to do that.
Yeah, they're like not even custom stuff. Their tabs are stupid price too.
Cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. I don't want to tell him this, but hopefully he just has turned us off by now. I would pay more for his tabs, assuming he ships them just as fast as the other ones, like the current price tabs.
Yeah.
So normally I would order my tabs from Barnes or Rough Stuff.
Right. It's like
they're out on the West Coast. So it's like at least a week. So if I order my shit on Sunday night, which I'm pretty good about doing for the net, like I'll get done working on the weekends. I'll order a bunch of shit. It'll show up 3 or 4 days. And then by the weekend, when you spend the most time on it, you can have all your shit.
Yep.
So the problem with that is I need like a fucking tab.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just paid $8 for this tab plus shipping, and it won't be here till Tuesday.
Yep.
His shit, 2 days to my house, like, I don't know, good. $6 or whatever flat rate shipping charge is. And thank you. Have a nice day. Oh, yeah. And your tabs are over 50% cheaper. Newsflash, folks. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
It's the same steel
Made
tab.
for the same steel.
Literally the same shit.
It's probably better.
It is because I actually shows up on time, like earlier than I expected. I'm legitimately excited when I get his box.
Yeah.
And with everybody else, I'm just like, about fucking time. Like now I'm just not even excited to put these tabs on. I'm like, good. I just wanted these the other day.
Did your other 2 boxes have anything special written on them?
They had some doodles.
I wonder if he doodles on all the boxes.
I don't know.
We're just special.
I love it. Brings me happiness from the mailbox to the house. Because let's be honest, once it gets opened, I'm on to something else.
Yep. That's all that matters. You're like, oh, doodles.
I got a fire extinguisher mount, quick release fire extinguisher mount.
I saw that. It looks nice.
So we have time to talk about fire extinguishers?
Where are we at?
2:15.
Oh God. No. We're out. We've run out of room for this month.
All right. Let me put fire safety on our next podcast episode.
Fire safety on the next podcast episode. And
let me run through this real fast with you, and then you can get us the fuck out of here because we got to go. Offroad Anonymous. Yep. They're not a partner. I just really like their cheap tabs and fast shipping. I cannot express how much of the fucking I just want a fucking tab.
Yeah.
Like,
isn't that wild? You'll shout them out even if you're, just for cheap tabs.
They are literally giving me nothing.
Giving Chris shit for no race lines. Damn.
Well, I mean, different, I'm just saying. Does Offroad Anonymous sell race lines?
No.
I say no more. Complete Off-Road, TOP5, 5%, but do yourself a favor and just call Chris directly.
Yep.
Tell him you found us on the pod or found us. Found them on the podcast, and he'll take care of you. Yep. Crawler Off-Road, top 10, 10% off everything but kinetic ropes. Again, congrats on the baby.
On the baby.
The baby.
Yep.
Check out Outlaw Offroad. Their website's the fucking best website I've ever heard of in my life. outlawoffroad.rocks. It's fucking awesome. Pimp. It's just funny. August 8th at Hooter Holler, and then Labor Day weekend down in Mid-America, 3-day show. Free beer. Show up. We'll see you there.
Get to it.
I'll bring you a sticker if you show up. Is that worth it?
Wait, which one has the free beer? Hooter Holler or the
Mid-America? Okay. Labor Day weekend.
Okay. I think you said those backwards. That's why I asked.
Did I?
Maybe.
Is it a free sticker if you show? Not Shelby's not getting a sticker because he's gonna fucking be there. But
hell no.
If you show up to
the Mid-America,
yep, I'll give you a sticker.
Okay.
Is that a bad deal?
For you, not for them.
Well,
I think we can afford it.
I just want to see new people show up to these because I know as soon as you go to one, you're gonna be hooked, just like I am.
Oh, for sure. Okay, so we'll do that.
Free sticker if you show up.
Mid-America, free sticker
at Mid-America.
Cool.
Or let me do this too, because if you've made it this far into it, you deserve it. If you show up, because we're not going to be at Hooter Holler because we're busy. If you show up to Hooter Holler and have never been to an outlaw race, and you take a selfie with Shelby and send it to us, I'll give you. I'll send you a sticker, and it'll be worth your while. It won't just be a sticker. I won't tell you anymore, but it'll be worth your while.
Should we just get a bunch of candid pictures of Shelby? Like somebody gets to give us a bunch of
I thought of this on the way home. I was like, how did I not get a fucking goofy as fuck selfie with this guy?
Not a single picture with him.
Nope.
Jesus.
We were busy, bro. We was putting out fires and shaking babies and all kinds of stuff.
With you not getting a picture of him, how am I supposed to take his head and put it on this other thing that says go fuck yourself? And it's two of the same person.
I can get a picture of him. That's all I'm saying. The internet's a brutal bitch. But yeah, if you get a picture with Shelby at Hooter Holler on August 8th and have never been to an outlaw, then I'll send you a package.
There you go. Okay. What else you got on there?
That's it. Okay.
You want me to do the rundown?
Do the dirties.
Give me your paperwork because I don't have one.
Dirty. No, I do. Sorry, I went full rap on you.
You guys know where to find us at Total Off-Road Podcast on YouTube. Go check it out there. Leave us a comment, like our videos, and subscribe to our channel. It really helps the algorithms and helps more people find us. So please head over there, Total Off-Road Podcast on YouTube. Then
we need to do read the reviews. So leave us some reviews because I just think of that. We haven't done one in a while.
Yeah.
We'll go through there. We read them. We just don't read them on the podcast.
So go leave us a review on Apple iTunes or some of the other platforms now are offering reviews. So leave us a review on the episodes. and we'll do a reader review and or a listener review. Check us out on Facebook, Total Off-Road Podcast on Facebook, and also go join the Total Off-Road Podcast Trail Riders group on Facebook. There's 2 questions on there. Make sure you answer them. On Instagram, total_offroad_podcast. Every week we update that information there with the beer of the week, so you know where to find them and what episode we're on. So in the bio, you can always check that out. And you can find me, Steve, at low_KEE_XJ. You can see all the pictures of my 95 Jeep Cherokee. And then you can find Ian over at offroad_Ian. And you can check out the Dime Piece Boogie.
The Boogie.
Some of the pictures that he posts on there, because he doesn't post shit. He's just lame and lazy.
I'm getting better.
So if you get on there and you don't see something that we've talked about on here on the Dime Piece,
just call me out.
Yeah, just send him a message and call him out.
Somebody bitched the other day. I posted like a front picture of the buggy, and somebody's like, give the people what they want. We want a side picture. And I'm like, instantly like, here you go. I just didn't post it. Like I had it. I just didn't post it. And then I was like, this is exactly what he talks about. Huh. So then I went and actually posted it. And I was like, okay, probably this touche. I should have posted this. My bad.
Great.
I'll get there one day.
That's where you guys can find us. Check us out on TikTok. I'm on there as well. Total_offroad_podcast on TikTok. That's all we got for you this week. Thanks for sticking around, and we'll catch you on the trail.